so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't discourse.
My people cried in theaters finding relief.
Holla.
My people cry so they can see us as human beings. They recognize propaganda they spew.
I am black.
And try to weaponize everything that we do.
I'ma tell you something. They spin and woke, bastardize it, appreciate it.
It says appropriate it, not appreciate it.
Appreciate it, appropriated, whatever. Speak truth to power. Keep an eye out. Not fodder for your clickbait. Speaking of which, journalists, did you forget it's your job to provide the truth?
Bling bling, you forgot your bling bling.
We so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't fuck with your discourse. We so bored, don't discourse.
I like it.
Hey, put it down, put it. You hurt yourself. Come on.
I am going to give you two options. You can come to Wakanda conscious or unconscious.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
Yeah.
Moments later.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to bother you. Can we just ask you how happy you're feeling right now?
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? Fucking prick. Oh no. The fact that he's got his shorter lights. His little Wang.
Fuck off!
Hey! It's over! It's over.
We made it.
Perry Chan is an international treasure, by the way. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Welcome to Friday Night Tights, everybody. Holy crap. We are in our new phase where we don't introduce everybody because we have names in the boxes, so you know everybody. They're here. Odin will leave at 2 hours.
Hi.
But we do want to...
If it's your first time here and you don't know us, why the fuck are you watching this show?
What's wrong with you? I don't know why we're making it, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. But we are joined by the long man, Mauler. Hello, Mauler. I know you've had a very busy week, my man, with Boogie and the Acolyte. Holy crap.
Ugh, gross. Which is worse? Who can say?
That's a good question. Guess we'll find out.
It is. There's a little connection because Boogie lied about having cancer, whereas the Acolyte gave everyone cancer. So
accurate.
Yes. Well, I hear the Jedi are now accepting people of his size, so maybe he has a chance to.
Boogie's got all the midichlorians, man.
And in honor of the Acolyte ending, I thought, what the hell? Let's do a Star Griff reunion and bring on for the very first time Star Wars Theory. What's up, man? Welcome to the show, the top Star Wars YouTuber. Yeah. And I'm sure they love that. I'm sure they absolutely love that.
Oh, yeah. They really like it.
I hear about you all the fucking time now. Every goddamn day there's a viral tweet about how much of a monster you are because you don't enjoy the Acolyte.
What's up with that? Yeah. Comes with the territory, I guess.
Might as well just put the icing on the cake and bring them on FNT. That's what I say.
Wow. It's about time. Official.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
It has been weird, though, since the finale, because normally this is the time where everyone goes, okay, now it's all over, I can do my honest review. But all the press have now come out and gone, no, we need a season 2. We need a season 2 because Manager Kinto might actually kiss him and get laid this time. And that's the only thing I've seen for all the positive reviews. We need to get him back so he can get his kit off again.
Once again, all of the fans united in requesting a season 2, but for different reasons.
Like he did a GQ interview, which is basically just them drooling over him for the entire article.
My favorite part of the whole like Manny Jacinto simpery is it's very similar to kind of like the Adam Driver stuff. It's all these people that are like, we really like him because he's toxic and abusive and he kind of looks fucking weird, and that's really hot to us now. It's such a weird fetish.
It's a silly look about him.
Yeah.
Was it Collider that did the interview with him? Well, not an interview with him. It described him as a complete loser, and that was why he was hot, because he embraced loserism.
Yes.
What?
Whatever that means.
Yeah, and he's like,
whatever the hell that means.
He kind of looks like a rat, and we think that's hot.
They called him unconventionally attractive.
Checks out for Collider. I mean, it just does.
Backhanded compliment, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish women thought that back in the 90s and 2000s, man. I'd be super popular.
Right?
He looks like a loser. He's hot. All right. Great.
Nice.
Rats are the new meta.
Splinter.
Oh. So the Acolyte was over, and as I said yesterday and previous times that on many streams, that it's the living embodiment of the meme. Our expectations were low, but holy fuck, it was so much worse than I could possibly imagine. It's the worst Star Wars ever made. It's the worst Disney Star Wars ever made, and it's everything Kathleen Kennedy wanted. And I, for one, hashtag renew Acolyte, renew the Acolyte. Get that hashtag out there. I'm down. Let's go.
Not again. Do it, Disney.
Yes.
Disney needs to light more money on fire.
Yeah, I'm for acceleration.
That's the thing, though. They will. They totally will renew it. Like, we both know this.
I mean, the irony of this is this show, it's fucking dog shit, but it's only like one standard deviation worse than Ahsoka. You know what I mean? It really is. When you look at Ahsoka and how fucking awful that was, the only difference is like people like the things that you were supposed to get excited about for Ahsoka were things that some people actually did care about, where these are like, look, High Republic, remember how Master Vernestra has problems going through hyperspace? All of a dozen people read. Or at least there was more people to just gobble up pointless, stupid fucking fan service in the retarded-ass Acolyte series.
But Yoda's in this.
Ahsoka.
Did you finish
Yoda.
Yeah, the back of his head.
Did I finish what, the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to watch it.
No. Did you read the books?
I read the first High Republic book because I wanted to legit give it a chance. Cavan Scott.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a slog to get through because of how many characters they tried to introduce in that first book. The entire setup of like this great disaster that happened because of this collision in hyperspace that sent debris flinging all throughout the galaxy. Like that was very retarded in general. Also, the fact that they're still not really doing hyperspace travel only like 300 years before the prequels is like that really makes the galaxy seem incredibly small and not make sense Star Wars lore wise.
Yeah,
but that's a whole bunch of other things. But I did not read all of the High Republic series.
No. I read like 30 pages and I was just like, I'm out.
Just having everyone be confused about the stomach thing, and then Ryan, the hero, coming in with the fucking lore on the High Republic.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was some inside joke or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is. It is like I think
lore now.
I think Vernestra had like, I don't know if she had like weird ass force visions or something in hyperspace sometimes, but it does come from those. And it wasn't just one joke, it was like 2 jokes. So the dozen people out there that read those books, and me for some reason that knows it, we got the joke. Thank you, Leslie Headland.
Good job, Leslie.
And we need Ryan to do that because if you look at the sales, it's like the first book sells, I guess you could say decent, maybe, but then everything else just plummets off a cliff.
So San Diego Comic-Con last year you had the big Star Wars booth, and in the front was the majority of it was all old Star Wars. It had old stormtroopers and Darth Vader and stuff. And then on the back side, against the wall, was the High Republic. On the other side of the wall, so it was just convention wall, Old Republic, or what is this? Older? Is it the New Republic? Old Republic? High Republic, right? Mid Republic.
Get it right, gee.
Completely full. This was like Sunday where people would have bought all the books. Completely full. Not a single one sold. It was sad.
No, and the series is sad. I guess Disparu and Ryan are a little low in their mics.
I've just boosted myself.
Right.
You'll have to let me know if that's better.
That's good.
You're boosted.
Ryan can't.
I'll just talk louder. How about
okay.
that?
Are we able to assume anything from how long it took them to announce Ahsoka season 2? Are we going to go by that for the scale?
How long did it take?
It took a couple months, like legitimately a few months before they officially announced, because I don't remember when Ahsoka ended, but it was like January. It was like a week after the debacle with the Rey director, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, when it was like miserable Disney Star Wars news. It was like a week after that they announced Mando and Grogu and Ahsoka season 2 production.
That's how Disney Star Wars started the year, Ryan. You remember that? She was on a New Year's Eve special or New Year's special on CNN. The year was about an hour old. And they just really...
I just really think that it's about time a women-shaped Star Wars going forward. You dumb bitch. If you haven't been paying attention the past decade, look where that's gotten us.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of women shaping Star Wars...
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Special guest.
What's he going to do?
What's
he going to say?
So, speaking of Dave Filoni, is that what you're going to say?
Oh, no.
You know how episodes of the show have had to be explained by someone special?
Yes.
And they get worse. The more they're explained, the worse the episode gets.
Oh, did you see her latest one? I just did I was reading that one last night about Plagueis.
Which was?
In depth.
Oh, well, we can ask her because she's here.
What?
Welcome to the show.
Leslie Headland.
Hello, Friday Night Tights. Thanks to me, Star Wars is no longer just for the boys, the straight white man boys. As you know, I'm the first person to add women and people of color to Star Wars. The only white man in the whole series was gay. Take that, patriarchy. And I tricked you all into watching it.
You did.
I gotta say, it's got the best fight scene involving twins since Abby and Brittany Hensel on their wedding night.
Jesus.
That's the two-headed woman.
That's the conjoined twins.
I just
two heads.
I knew exactly.
One vagina. Yeah.
No one can deny. I see you looking at me, Theory. I have choice words for you. No one can deny that I have made Star Wars sexy. You wouldn't have seen Wet Manny Jacinto without me. Okay, no, you wouldn't have seen it. His name is Kamir, which was inspired by my time working for Harvey Weinstein. Whenever he'd have an actress in his office, I'd always hear him saying, "Come here, come here, come here." And that really stayed with me. The story I wanted to tell is focused around the Sith. I've always felt like I have had a bit of a Sith sense when it comes to storytelling.
Okay.
My style has always been less High Republic, more Banana Republic, khakis, cardigans, that sort of thing. It takes place around the time of the Phantom Menace, and you can't spell menace without men. Okay.
True.
You also can't spell enlightenment without men, which upset many of the female writing staff. I see a lot of you judging me, thinking I'm not a real Star Wars fan, but as you can see, I have many tchotchkes, okay? I have many Star Wars tchotchkes, which should be behind me to prove my fandomness, okay?
That's how you know with the bobbleheads.
Tell me you can't listen to this mug and think I'm not a real fan.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I remember that sound from the Star Wars.
It's a lesbian R2D2 mug.
You need BB-8.
If you listen closely, it's saying,
No, he's a bull.
Please make a season 2.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Anyway, to me, Jung Lee, Master Soul, killing the twins' black mom was his own sort of stop Asian hate moment. It was a little bit of
powerful. It's a powerful moment.
Very powerful. Stay off the subways, people. You think you know something about Star Wars just because you have the word theory in your name, huh? Well, guess what? I'm now Leslie Headland Theory, okay?
You got theories about yourself, I guess.
Yeah. I too have been told that I am too old to train, okay? My parents dropped me off at gymnastics. I was 9 years old. The coach looked right at me and said, "Get out. You're clearly a 35-year-old woman. You're too old to train." Anyway, I wanted to cast a few parts for season 2 for the Acolyte.
Let's do it.
We all know it's definitely coming back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I wanted to use some of the cast of Friday Night Tights, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead, Liz.
My plan is to have Master Soul come back alive and as a woman, and actually, X-Ray Girl, I'd like you to play it.
I thought she already did.
I wrote it. It doesn't matter. I wrote it especially for you. And you don't even have to audition. Just show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Mauler, I'd like you to play the stranger helmet.
No, I wanted to be the creepy goblin in the cave.
Oh, yuck. You don't need any acting experience to play the stranger helmet. Just sit on your hand until it feels numb. And then do what comes naturally.
You've sold me on the pot.
And Theory, I'd like you to play live action Basil. I'm inspired by those cheeks of yours. Ugh. And
He's
guess
already
what?
got it.
May and Basil are going to be romantically entwined.
Entangled?
Entangled.
There you go.
Comics, I'd like you to play Pimp, the pocket-sized droid.
Hey, Leslie,
He's
did
too
anyone
tall.
ever tell you that your face looks like a smashed thumb?
Wow.
She gets you a job, and this is how you treat her. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is how you establish a working relationship, by letting
Garrett,
them know how much
you're-
of an asshole you are.
Garrett, you are now going to be Pip, the pocket-sized droid.
Yes.
Disparu, as the only lesbian here on Friday Night Tights, you have your pick of roles. We're gonna
I'll be
need-
OSHA because I can't act either.
Oh, hey. Can you make a diss track?
I can. Yeah, I can dance as badly as that.
You can't spell diss track without a Disparu.
Oh, boy. That's a
almost
murder.
done. I'm almost done.
Close. That was courtesy.
That's what she said. Yeah.
We're gonna need a new bald green character, and I was really hoping Az would do it, but since he's gone,
he
Odin,
died.
I'm
R.I.P.
looking in your general direction.
Oh, geez. Thanks, Les. Appreciate that. Can I just call you Les Theory?
Please. That's what you call me on
Les
set.
Theory.
Hello, talk.
Oh, man.
Jeremy is going to play the gay Jedi, and the rest of you are just too male and white. I can't use you.
Thank
Unless someone
fucking
eats
God.
poison again.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Welcome, everyone. And hold on, I have another look. If you guys don't like that look. Okay. And Theory, if you have any sabers, as a thanks for including you in my next season, you can send me your largest saber, whatever's black and vibrating.
With the most girth. With the most girth. Yes.
The most. You're welcome, everyone. Hey,
Thank
Acolyte.
you. Thank you. Leslie Hellman. Now why the show sucks makes so much more sense now. Thank you. See you later. We did discuss lightsaber girth yesterday a little bit on Open Bar.
Yeah, they're all very wide and fat on the Acolyte for some reason. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
You know, they throb, according to the audio description.
I have noticed that the hilts are very thick.
Very thick.
But yeah, Sol can barely get his hands around his. Like when he points it at the camera, he's literally
Hey,
like,
listen.
Hands,
I understand. I've been there. What I
Oh no,
hate-
Soul's been there though.
What I hate the most, I think, about like one of the things that I saw people talking about was the lightsaber bleed, or not the lights, the kyber crystal bleeding, where she just went so evil that she bled the crystal and it's
So
red.
evil.
And it's so stupid because this is not a new thing, but it is a Disney Star Wars thing. It's been around for about a decade in Disney Star Wars. We've never seen it in live action before, but it is. I think it's cringe and retarded and gay. And like, I would ask the question. I would ask the question: if that's how it works, then how did we not see Anakin Skywalker bleeding his lightsaber crystal in the midst of slaughtering people at the temple?
Well,
in the midst
wait,
of everything that happened?
I'm not sure how this question's getting around because they talked about this in Open Bar, but the crystal was exposed. That was the point of that scene. She throws the lightsaber, the crystal comes out, and then her hand is directly on it. I think that's their explanation. That's why they're saying it's never happened before.
Oh my
Which
god.
is stupid. The crystal
Maybe.
breaking.
It is,
just
no,
as you
yeah, don't get me
dropped it.
wrong. I hate it.
But
I'm
there's
pretty
still
sure
no
that's
but there's
direct.
still no contact with
I
her
think-
hands in the crystal or anything.
No, I don't think it has anything
No, there
to do
is.
with her touching the crystal, does it?
It is 100%.
Yeah,
you can
she's
even
touching
see,
it. You can see it.
If you screenshot it, there's veins on the palm of her hand that are connecting to the crystal. They're trying. The reason she tossed it and it broke is to propel the crystal out, jut it out just a bit so it touches her skin, and then she can angry it. That's
Yeah, because there is a scene, I think in the Vader comic, I'm sure Theory probably read that, but in the Disney Star Wars Vader comic, they had a scene where he bled his crystal, right?
Yeah, but he almost died doing it.
All right.
Just that expression alone is uncomfortable. He bled his crystal.
I apologize. I have to Ben Shapiro. We got to prepare a clip. we got to get a clip, Garrett, of like
quick
Ben,
story.
Ben Shapiro like being mid rant and then stopping to do an ad read. And that could be our lead in to the ad read.
Right to you.
Because we have to do it. So speaking of cringe and stupid and gay, you know what? It's cringe and stupid and gay. Getting sick. Getting sick is it's cringe and stupid and gay.
It is.
Especially if you get COVID.
Especially if you get COVID, which is going around, that really bad cold that was totally not engineered in a lab in China. That is going to inconvenience some people. Well, especially the ones who might have got it in Wisconsin and then tried to get on a plane and then couldn't get on their plane because there was a massive outage.
But yeah,
it's difficult for them.
It's good to be prepared for stuff. It's good to have a plan B. So I'm going to just read this. Okay. I'm going to have to get better at this. It might take a year.
Read? Oh gosh.
I don't know why they're asking somebody to do an ad read that can't see and has the reading comprehension of a retarded 6-year-old, but like, here we go. Here we go. The wellness company medical kit, because you don't want to get COVID because it's gay. We don't have a healthcare system in this country. We have a sick care system, which I completely agree with. Pharmaceutical companies make billions, that's right, billions with a B, every single year off of sick Americans, and that's not even counting all the drugs they created and the fentanyl zombies, and that's a conversation for another day, which means Big Pharma needs you to be sick to be reliant on them. And just like Big Pharma, Big Government wants you to feel powerless, which they do. We had a nice big display of that pretty much in the early 2020s and still happening now as you walk through a store and see people double masked. Like they're in control and you need them to protect you. Well, they give me some options of what to say, and I like the not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. Not today. So it's always best to become self-reliant and take control back of our health with the wellness company's medical emergency kits designed by elite doctors, Dr. Drew. They mentioned Dr. Drew. He's part of this. I like Dr. Drew. These prescription kits have emerged as a keystone of many American family emergency preparedness plans, saving thousands of dollars in unplanned hospital visits. especially for us olds. I mean, look at our president. Our president just got COVID for the 75th time, although he's had 75 boosters, and he's still getting it, and it's much harder for him than Trump right now. Trump only got shot, okay? So you guys are being way too hard on Biden right now.
Biden's being shot with those.
He got several
vaccines.
shots.
Yeah, lots of shots.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair to Biden, I mean, he's got a lot of other drugs in the system right now that might be messing with all the other ivermectin that they have him on, right?
Comorbidities.
So even if he had Biden should still have a wellness kit, but all the speed he's on might mess with that a little bit, just a little bit. So be ready for the next thing with the wellness company's medical emergency kit containing 8 life-saving medications, including ivermectin. I said it on YouTube. I don't know if I said it right.
Ivermectin?
Ivermectin.
It saves you from the robot if you don't say it right. So
right.
We're good.
Well, now I just said it right, so I just screwed up. Moxicillin and Z-Pack, plus a guidebook to aid in safe use of these life-saving medications. The kit is prescription only. You can't find it anything like it in the store or pharmacy, and every American should have one, at least one of these kits. You can order the kit at TWC Health / is it supposed to be? What's the / supposed to be? It's blank for me.
It's Nerdrotic.
Okay, thank you.
Fucking flawless.
Look at the description.
Oh my God.
Use code Nerdrotic.
You, Gary.
Back to our regular programming. I told you I'd make it interesting. Ben Shapiro's got nothing on me, man. Fuck that.
It was very concise and
Thank
succinct.
you.
It was good.
It was beautiful, right?
Just as I thought it would go.
That was
Perfect.
exactly like the reading the teleprompter word for word.
Fade out.
All the words that he just said the last 2-3 minutes were on that page.
Go F yourself for San Francisco.
San Diego, by the way. It's go fuck yourself, San Diego. All right.
Whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina. The Acolyte ended. Thank God. It was,
Yes.
again, the worst show, the worst Disney Star Wars show I've seen. It's the worst Disney Plus show I've seen. Now, to be fair, I'm not going to ask Disparu. I only half watched Willow. I watched the whole thing, but I only half watched it. That was pretty fucking bad, but I think this is actually worse.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
This was worse written. Willow was funnier. That was the main thing.
Willow was funnier. I'll agree with that.
And Willow was trying to be funny. It was trying to be a comedy. And like She-Hulk, when they do that, it fails. But it's still funny for the reasons that they don't intend. So I had more fun watching those than this. This one had really stupid stuff. Like, at the end, at first I'm like, well, the villains just got away with it. And then I realized, no, Sol was the villain. From their perspective, Sol was the most evil person in that show, and they think he got what he deserved. That's why you had all the sympathetic crying at the end from the two sisters who just murdered all of their friends. And I was thinking about the timeline, and I think from Manny killing all of her friends to the end when they're on the planet is 2 days. I think they only slept once.
It's insane how there is no sense of time or scope or scale or anything. It takes people moments to get from Coruscant to the Outer Rim. We're talking like actually 20 minutes maybe of travel time between Coruscant and a planet on the Outer Rim. It makes no sense.
You confirm that because they show it. They show Sol hit the button. It transmits to the Jedi Order. The Jedi get the information, then decide to leave. They have a whole conversation about it, then leave, and then get here, and it's literally takes Sol from the ship to this compound.
They're explicit. 20 minutes.
Yes.
That's what he says, right? 20 minutes in universe.
Oh, I mean,
yes, and that's insane. That is universe breaking. Well, I mean, so is light speed skipping in Rise of Skywalker. So is a bunch of other things we've had. But like that, why the fuck would you even like? Why? If you can travel from Coruscant to the Outer Rim in 20 minutes, it changes so much. Yeah. It's literally insane. That is a trip that should take several days, if not a week, depending on where exactly you are.
And that
to get
would make the
from the
better.
deep core, to get from the core to the Outer Rim. That's nuts.
Because if Osha had spent more time around Manny, you could have understood, well, she fell for him, he showed her a different side or something. But when it's been 24 hours and she suddenly turned evil and is now killing her master that she's known her entire life, well, most of her life by this point, and she's like, you can die now, I don't care about you. What on earth is happening with these people?
Yeah, she got, she saw his Asian penis, got talked to for 2 hours about the dark side.
Saul's got one too.
Put on an autoerotic asphyxiation helmet and turn to the dark side that quickly.
So, question, right? Is this one of the worst pieces of television you've ever seen? Because I think it's up there.
It's up there, dude.
I'll say once you get the full package, I think it comes close. That last episode really just
the full
cinched
package.
It.
That's a loaded statement right there.
Full package plus the little mini one as well. Just
so many things that the show brought up during the episodes that you're like, okay, surely they're going to explain this. They keep hyping up outside of the show that we're really taking a look at the Jedi Order, and it's hard to write a story about the Jedis being the bad guys and all this build up, and the Jedis did nothing wrong.
Can I just talk about how stupid this scene is that you've got, right? She sees a vision of the future where she says May is killing Sol. And her plan for this is to go off and stop it. And she does that by dressing in exactly the same clothes that she has seen murdering Sol.
Genius.
If you're
so she can't tell herself. So she can't tell herself apart from her sister.
Well, hey,
they're that identical.
Leslie Headland, remember, did not want actual twins because she couldn't tell the difference.
Was she not seeing the future, but a version of it, and she changed it? Is that what we're supposed to think?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I think it.
She's seeing herself because they're the same person.
It could be interpreted that way, but we don't have enough information to make that statement.
But May didn't want to murder him. No one interrupted May. May had the opportunity to kill him, and she just voluntarily chose not to.
We don't know that. If Osha never showed up to that planet, maybe May would have.
I thought the reason why she thought it was May is because she was in May's clothes, and May was in her engineering clothes.
They don't show it at all. So
I would guess that, if she was seeing herself, she might just assume that it's not her. How could I ever do that? I would never fucking do that, and assume that it was her sister doing it.
It's just so funny that she's wearing she puts on the outfit she saw in the vision.
Yeah.
But at least change the top or something, being I'm definitely not going to set that up.
Because it would be a clue. You're like, I saw the person wearing these clothes that I'm about to put on murder Sol. Yeah, I'll just wear the exact same. You would think.
So stupid.
I'll put on a different top just to be.
I'll put on a hat
just in case.
Just in case. But we're talking about a show that when it was announced over 4 years ago, it was announced with Leslie Headland attached, and we just knew this is probably going to be an intersectional feminist nightmare. There won't be any white dudes in it. If they are, they'll be killed or effeminate. It'll be filled. It'll have logical. It'll have logic.
It was announced as a female-focused Star Wars show featuring martial arts. That's all we knew at the time. Female-focused martial arts.
And that was enough to hear that it'll have logical inconsistencies or no consistency whatsoever, no narrative. It'll be mystery box bullshit. I think some people even predicted very early on there would be flashback episodes. That's pretty easy to predict with Mystery Box relies on flashback episodes because what Mystery Box is, it's bullshit. It's a way to cheat at writing. It's a way to cheat at characterization and narrative. And then what they do is they introduce mysteries without having any fucking idea what the answer is. And they go, we'll come up with them later. It's a quick way. And it's mastered by Jar Jar Abrams, who had people fooled with Lost for a long time. I was out after the first season. I was done. Because I had watched Alias, right? So Alias felt like something for the first season and a half. And then you realize they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Don't you like season 2? I thought that was the best one.
I like season 2,
bros.
I like season 2, but
I also like just seeing Jennifer Garner run around.
Did you see the finale? The finale was the dumbest freaking thing I've ever seen. But
for Alias or for Lost?
Alias, both.
Yeah,
Lost was like that the entire way through.
Alias had a charm for me. I loved all the actors. I knew it was goofy as fuck by the time we get to the ending.
The Rimbaldi device. I love when they put the Rimbaldi device in Star Trek. By the way, the red glob of goo.
Glob, yeah. But with Lost, I remember thinking The stuff with like the hatch was okay, but everything past that started to lose me.
Yeah. So
right. You also need compelling characters for the mystery box to really catch you, right? So like in Lost, there's a lot of great characters that you want to follow, and you go, what are these other mysteries that's going on with these characters? But I like following these characters. In this show, you have no one. Saul, maybe he's the only one that has any kind of like emotion on his face.
Whatever mysteries they introduce,
but then you find out what it is.
You find out what it is pretty soon, and then you know what's going on, and you're waiting for the characters to catch up. Like
for like 4 episodes.
This whole thing
it's
is like
lowest common denominator stuff because it's like the first thing you have of the first prediction you make ends up being correct. Yeah, it's just like okay.
On the note of mystery boxes, right? Because the way that you should write it, this is the way that you should write it. And of course, people in Hollywood who did all this crap, they're hacks like Abrams stuff. What you do, you figure out the mystery first, and then you figure out all the parts that lead to it, and you write backwards from it. And some absolutely phenomenal examples of this are You, My Mummy from Doctor Who, all right? Where all the pieces fall into place when the mystery is revealed, and you're like, holy crap, it makes sense. Another example, Elantris, Brandon Sanderson. Check out the book, right? Where there's a mystery that is carrying the entire story through that is only revealed at the very end. But once it's revealed, when it's done right, all the pieces fall into place beautifully. And
any Sherlock Holmes book, any of those classic novels, they all have that like great setup. You set up the mysteries because the mysteries lead to an answer. At
Usual
some point.
Suspects.
Come on.
Great.
Yeah, Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire has a whole bunch of them as well.
Beautifully set up in those books, yes.
Well, I think J.K. Rowling had her ending for Harry Potter done before she kept on writing any books, and she locked it in a vault that George R. Martin has not. By the way, just want to point that
You
out.
have to do that. You have to do that as a writer. Like leading to that point is what the entire point of this show is. Unless it's just to follow around these diverse characters doing diverse things. Like,
Well,
what
that's
are we
the
doing
thing,
here?
is there really isn't much of a point to this whole show if you kind of look at you just like.
I think that is the point.
What was the point?
Learn anything.
No, I actually think there is a point. And the reason this show is so terrible is because the point of this series is completely antithetical to Star Wars and what the Jedi and Sith represent. George has said many times over and over again that despite the Jedi, have flaws and have failings, they are the most moral people in the galaxy. They are, by definition, the good guys. The Sith, by definition, are the bad guys. It's pretty simple, but it's just true. The point of this show was to set up some sort of comparison, some sort of analogy, like in a modern day lens, to place the Jedi, whether you want to view it as a police force, whether you want to view it as the patriarchy, whether you want to view it as heteronormative society that looks down upon anything they view as unnatural. This is where this is all coming from a writer's room that is filled for the most part with unfuckable lesbians who have identity politics like first and foremost. So what they do is they set up a show with the point to tell you that the Jedi, what they're doing is actually bad. They're not letting these people live the way they want to live their life. You are supposed to feel like a sense of triumph when Osha chokes Sol to death. You are supposed to feel like this is what's supposed to happen when they're holding hands at the end. They are not the villains in this show. Sol is the villain. The Jedi are the villains. They are the ones who are breaking free of the oppression.
Yes.
That's why this show is so
of the
fucking
of the unjust society and the unjust rules. Yes.
You're supposed to feel like, it is sad that
Of the
Sol is
oppression
dead,
of the
but
white
I mean,
man.
he kind of brought it on
No.
himself with all the decisions he made.
Well, it was in that line at the end, one flawed man, and the way she was like, one flawed. It's like,
she put a lot into that.
You got that, and then you got the the guy where the Vanestra talks to, the inspector guy, or the guy who's going to do the investigation. Everything he says,
CW Martian Manhunter.
He's practically
the politician.
He basically explicitly says
From
what
Doctor
the
Who.
point of the show was, or at least an aspect of it. Right? It's some of the most like shittest writing ever. It's like, the Jedi, they think themselves pretty fucking high, and they use their powers willy nilly. And you know what? Not cool. It's like,
And what are you doing introducing that character like in the middle of the last episode? That's like something you would introduce before.
Leslie Headland in an interview said, Yoda was supposed to be in that position, and he was supposed to be at the end, but they felt when it was at the end, it undermined the romance section between Manny and Osha, and so they put him earlier so he didn't overshadow the romance.
Very fucking kidding.
Jesus. Yeah, she
Because
said
they
that
didn't
about
want it to feel
Plagueis.
like he'd manipulated that romance.
Yeah, she said that about Plagueis.
Yeah, because you're right. She said that they were
wild.
originally going to have the creepy Plagueis scene at the end, but the reason they didn't is because when they looked at it, they thought it would undermine the triumph that you're supposed to feel for Osha if you ended it on a weird note like that with the creepy Plagueis. That's I'm telling you,
what triumph?
This
Yeah,
is
the
triumph.
The triumph of
Like,
killing the
seriously.
guy who like protected you and saved you, and
Well, let's not mince
multiple
words.
times.
He would have raised her for a
Yeah.
significant amount of time, and that meant nothing to her.
So for the audience most of you who didn't watch the show, the heroic moment of this episode is when Osha kills Soul with a force choke, and then her sister May smirks, gets a little smile.
Yeah.
Gets a little that's when they're hang on, Shad. That's when they're free. What Ryan was talking about. They're free of the shackles of oppression and they could go make decisions for their own. That's your heroic moment.
And I was only going to add,
man.
like, when you say kill, you actually mean murder. She
Yes.
murdered
Oh yeah, murders in cold blood.
Yeah.
Cold blood.
No, because he says it's okay towards the end.
Oh
he
my
just gives up.
God.
Also,
What
it's
the hell was that?
It's the first force choke ever to be used in history. Is what this is.
She's the virgin. She's the twin.
Did she actually say that, or are we just assuming that because we don't
I've
have
seen
record
people
of it
saying
before
that.
that?
Yeah, what's the
But say
reference
the whole.
to that?
What do you mean?
Because remember,
say what?
she's been told she has to learn how to kill without using certain
So
things.
what's going around?
yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
yeah,
around
yeah.
Twitter right now, Theory and Ryan, is that, and I know you know, but I'm saying it for the audience, is that she is doing the first force choke in the history of Star Wars. I just completely fucking reject that.
Yeah, get fucked.
And like
Fucking
what
Technically, hey, no,
and
wait.
what
Technically, in Disney Star Wars canon, that's true, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
On-
I don't
on
actually
film.
know if the show is implying that or even thinking it, or just because it's the earliest thing in the timeline and the first time we've ever seen it, if people are putting that on it as if it is, whether that's like a fan thing
it's
or whether
fucking
that was
timeless children
intended
thing
that
again.
way.
It is.
Yeah.
Ryan, like what? Like he was so surprised. It's like, oh, she did it. She killed a Jedi without using a weapon. It's like
He already did that to
time you guys are
fucking
using a
Yord. He
force
broke
choke?
Yord's neck.
Like,
Was
what
it-
do you?
It's not special.
Yeah, like,
but you're
what are
not allowed to
kidding?
touch
He
him.
did that with
That's
his
like
hands,
using
though.
your hands is using a weapon.
But
the
again, that's the
fuck
kind
is
of
a
writing you
weapon?
expect.
No,
This is the kind
your
of writing you
hands
expect from them, though. They think it's smart. They think it's, oh man, we're now putting ourselves into the same vein as the original force choke that everyone remembers of Darth Vader. Right now, we know where it all comes from, and because you see all the stuff they do with the Force throughout the entirety of this show, and all of a sudden, oh wait, it's a stretch to say that you can actually choke somebody. But
Yeah.
again, that's basically what everything they imply in this
But
episode.
dude, yeah, that's exactly what I feel like her whole purpose in this show was. She was saying that the whole reason the Jedi don't train Anakin or apprehensive of it is because of Osha. The whole reason that Vader uses Force choke is because of her. Qui-Gon is essentially supposed to be like Soul now, who like Soul is the most emotional, stupid Jedi I've ever seen. Like he's just so compromised by his emotions. He's not like compare him to Qui-Gon. He's just so off the rails.
Oh, well,
Dude,
Leslie
she's
said that
even-
that's the bonus. Leslie's idea of the balance in the Force, and she said this, is that if you embrace half the dark side, you become balanced and you get stronger. And there's loads of articles going that essentially the reason why Osha is so super powerful is that she has embraced love. And so because she loves the guy, and it's a romance story,
Frozen.
that's where her power comes from.
Yeah,
Frozen again.
And we've had this. I've had this argument time after time after time, especially when people like Freddie Prinze Jr. throw out 2 + 2 = like whatever. I was taught it by Dave Filoni, right? Like that view of the Force is inherently nonsensical, and it's not what George Lucas defined balance as. Balance is the absence of darkness. It's the absence of that chaos. And when you embrace the dark side at all, not just half and half, it's thrown out of balance. Imagine how retarded that is. If you think that the idea of like the Jedi thing, balance in the Force, like to bring balance to the Force was when we have an equal amount of evil and goodness in the world. Like what kind of fucking idea is that? But that's
It's an evil idea, but they want it. But like Leslie is an evil, scummy piece of crap, right? And she wants to be validated that she is perfect the way she is, and she's a good person because she accepts the evil in her. That's what Hollywood wants.
Bullshit.
They absolutely want that philosophy to be the thing, so they can be justified in the evil crap that they do.
You know,
but this whole thing is just it's a stamp of her approval on something that's timeless, where she now has. She created 2 chosen ones, essentially, so Anakin's kind of like, well, whatever. He's the 3rd that came into the picture now. It's not special anymore. And this whole thing about these people online turning the birth date into the main focal point of, like, the disaster. No one gives a fuck about a birth date. That's really, like, not the big deal. The problem is this is supposed to be 1,000 years of peace, and we've now interjected this story where fucking Jedi are dying. It doesn't happen. Let alone by a fucking Sith.
And then you have Plagueis in the background who somehow is learning how to create life just by being in a creepy cave, seeing somebody, not even seeing it happen, but just seeing one person.
But that's the thing. She like retcons everything. Yeah. But now Plagueis now learns. Darth Plagueis the Wise is Darth Plagueis the fucking copycat.
Yes. The music during that Plagueis scene where it was like, oh, it was really him going,
like observing this specimen. Dude.
To be clear, Plagueis doesn't actually create life, right? Plagueis does not create Anakin.
No, I know.
Plagueis attempts to do these things, and Plagueis attempts to manipulate the midichlorians to his will. And when he does that, the Force itself fights back, ends up killing a lot of his experiments, and creates Anakin, which he doesn't really know what the outcome of that was until about 10 years later when Anakin Skywalker shows up, and they're like, holy fuck. Like, this is what happened. We fucked ourselves. That's what Plagueis is thinking. And
the timeless children parallels.
Doctor Who fans are like, first time, huh? So if you're not familiar with the Timeless Children, the first Doctor was played by William Hartnell. He was introduced. He still is the first Doctor, but they decided to go back in time theory and replace him as an abandoned little black girl at a portal. So that's the actual first Doctor.
What?
Yes, they retcon the entire origin of Doctor Who, and now the first Doctor.
To be specific, he was born and raised on Gallifrey, right? Time Lord, and then they changed it to there's a portal that opens, a little black girl falls out of it, and then some lady scientist experiments on her for years, causing her regeneration until she can bioengineer it so that she can create a race of beings called Time Lords that have that very power that the Doctor has.
The double messaging here is cultural appropriation. They kind of missed the whole child abuse and abandoning a black baby. They missed that part. It was a female scientist, by the way, who was an explorer by herself who just ran across her. And it was
and the Doctor never did.
Yeah, so the Time Lords were culturally appropriating this girl from the portal.
Utterly annihilating, digging up the entire foundation of Doctor Who and completely changing it. And for everyone looking at the scoreboard, like Terminator killed John Connor, got rid of Skynet, brought in Legion, and had a girl John Connor take the place. Predators now hunt for autism. Never forget all this shit. So everyone would start with fucking what happened to Alien. Like like stop.
This is why they use bing, 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 bing. This is why they use prequels rather than sequels.
Yep.
Because sequels would have to build on something, whereas they want to tie themselves into something people already like, and just. It makes it impossible because whether you like, well, I can write it off. You can't really write off this history because it literally leads into what you like in the first place. And so they will always have their names attached to it, and they just want reflected glory.
Yeah. That's why they do prequels. Well, and that's what this show does.
I blame George, by the way, for prequels.
Yeah, I do too.
Wait, you don't like the prequels?
Uh-oh.
Don't open it.
I don't like the prequels. I hate them. Absolutely hate them.
Hey, Theory, welcome to my side of the internet now.
Well, we're going to talk about something different on this stream now.
Like where you stop.
Ryan likes them.
Wait.
Yeah, we have this. We have this argument like every 2 weeks when Gary says something disrespectful about the prequels while we're literally watching. While we're literally watching diarrhea come out of Disney Star Wars, and he decides that's the time to like complain about his steak being slightly overcooked. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, are we going to talk about the Acolyte?
We're going to talk about the Acolyte because it makes the prequels look like Shakespeare. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now.
They are Shakespeare, right? Let's just get that clear. So,
but it's
they're like poetry.
Hold on.
It rhymes. So
the prequels are Shakespeare with less cross-dressing. Okay, that's basically what it is.
I would say more, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, okay, look. So a lot of people are like, well, you just hate the show. It's like you don't really. It's like these tourist fans don't really understand what the show does to the whole establishment of the prequel trilogy. And it's like what Ryan was saying, what Disparu was saying. It's that it literally brings in Leslie's story, and all of the characters that were like a first for us in the prequel trilogy are now just kind of copycats, or like they're like a second or third version of the Acolyte characters. You know, there is no version. The Virgins is now, you know, Osha and May. Plagueis is just copying what he saw from the witches. I mean, it's just, it pisses me off, man, and it's just really insulting, I think, to Star Wars fans, and I'm not okay with it.
But they put Plagueis in there. That's literally everything you want. Don't you love it?
You said
it. And this is the same thing, right? Yeah. This is the same thing that I've been bitching about for the past 12 fucking years. When like they throw a character from the EU, and they did this with Thrawn. It fucking started with Thrawn, and not enough people fought back. Too many people gobbled this dog shit up and didn't fucking call it out. But guess what? You can have a blue character. You can have him be Thrawn. You can have him in a white fucking uniform, even if he looks weird, right? But that doesn't make it the same character, and doesn't mean it's respectful to fans. And because not enough people called that bullshit out for the past decade, that has now led people to think that for some reason this is acceptable and okay. To insert a character with a name that's recognizable, with established lore and previous continuity that you disregarded, bring them in, bastardize it, recontextualize the entire thing, and expect people to be happy about that. And to be honest, I don't think people have high enough standards for this for the past 10 years, and that's why this is happening now.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Like, it is essentially the slippery slope. You only have to listen to what Tolkien thought about people that wrote in his world, and he's literally just crapping all over. Literally couldn't stand anyone touching his stuff. But once you move that line and like, well, you know, it's only fan fiction, right? They're just uploading it to a website. What harm are they going to do? Well, now the fan fiction writers are writing official Star Wars. And this entire series was designed for Reylos, which had written fan fiction about that, and now they've got their own series. And I think that's one of the reasons this series is a bit kind of just meh, you kind of project your own stuff on it, because it was designed to be theory crafted. Everyone wanted to make their own story, and it was more about the potential of what can happen. And a lot of the plot holes, the mystery box, was literally so you thought of your own story. I don't know if you've seen what Leslie Headland said about, she was told, well, people are saying that actually Chimera is a Knight of Ren, and she's like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wow. So he wasn't going to be before, but he probably is now, because someone just mentioned it. Anything that can tie them up as a new fictional thing, which then just has fan service of as many people banging as possible, is what you're going to get.
Anybody who saw that interview knows it's incoherent in her own head. Because the theory you just saying, and I know that this is a quote where she was saying that this would have inspired the age limits and stuff. But as we know from the show, the age limits are already in place. They mention it a couple of times. It's like she completely forgets that in the interview. She's like, yeah, maybe this is, this is why they blah blah. And you're just like, hello. You've read this Richard theory, or fucking council already talked about the age limit.
Dude, she literally writes, she speaks how she wrote, what's her face, May. But 1 minute she'll say something, and then the next minute she's completely gone the other way. And
it's every single character in this show. None of the characters are
get
consistent.
whiplash watching this show.
It's because it's based upon the idea of freedom, so it's just they can do whatever they want, whatever feels good at that moment in time. There is no principles that guide them. It is literally, I feel like doing this now, and so I should.
And it's justified because it's perfectly justified. And what
modern day, that's what it is.
Yeah, what you said earlier, theory was like Leslie Headland wanted to put her stamp on this. That's why they do prequels. They also have to fix the problematic past. So it's a double win for them. They have to fix the straight white past and patriarchal past and masculine past of Star Wars and craft it into this lifestyle brand that's more that more women will buy, which they don't. That's
why they have to destroy the Jedi. Because that is the symbol of values, principles, right?
But women already enjoyed Star Wars before this. They liked the original trilogy.
More women enjoyed Star Wars before than they do now.
Gary, what you meant to say is this is designed more so for cat ladies who love it, by the way.
Box wine. Don't forget the box wine. That too. I don't. Do you have? Oh, you probably have that in the UK, right? Box
Oh yeah,
line.
no, I know what you mean. Yeah. This is the thing, by the way. Anyone who owns a single cat doesn't count. You got to have at least 3. We're looking mainly at 5, though. That's the kind of the limit.
Yeah,
if I wasn't allergic to cats, I'd have like 10.
Well, I think
I'd be a cat man.
You'd be a cat lady.
You did join the Acolyte. And
cat lady theory.
She said that Manager Kinto was attractive because he gender swaps the roles of hypersexualization. It is literally switching everything from the male point of view to the female point of view.
Sorry, he murders and kidnaps a girl, takes her to an island, and then all of a sudden
sexually assaults her.
Literally,
he murders all of
he
the
roofies
Jedi,
her. He force roofies her.
Reveals himself to her, and now this is like a love story. This is super creepy. Yeah,
dude. When came the day for them to write the scene where he justified how he killed all of her friends, they gave the fuck up quick.
Yeah,
they were like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like what one sentence answers to why you fucking murdered all these people that you're supposedly like close to and care about. But I mean, at the end of the day, she didn't really need much excuse to kill Saul anyway. So
no, it was fine.
What a vile character, right?
I love you.
Really vile and despicable, and the show unironically thinks that you should sympathize with them. At the end, I was thinking, just have a meteorite come and kill them all. These 3
They'll never know.
Shad, I was hoping that Plagueis was going to show up if he was going to be put into this and just kill everyone. Like how fucking sick.
I actually thought that
would be more consistent.
Yes, like in the forest.
Yeah, go ahead.
When the Jedi from Wish were coming with Basil and fucking Soul is fighting Chimere, and then the twins are doing their shit Matrix dance together, and then all of a sudden they all stop because Plagueis just freaking shows up and fucking annihilates every Jedi, including Vernestra, the Jedi from Wish, fucking Basil's dead. He just kills everyone.
Yep.
And
I think it would have been cool. Like, I actually think it would have been cool and made more sense if Chimere was not a Sith. If Chimere was literally just a Jedi that had fallen to Dark Jedi.
A poser.
And yeah, well, kind of, yeah. But he was like causing all these problems and maybe even like leading the Jedi to like investigate that stuff. Yeah. I wouldn't have minded at the end if like Tenebrous and Plagueis show up to like fucking just annihilate Chimere and anybody that knows about him and set it up so that like, all it falls on him, so nobody looks the Sith's way ever again.
Dude, they could have like opened up the ground and fucking dumped all the bodies in there and just closed it up and been like, all right, now back to business.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking epic.
So like if Chimere wasn't really a Sith or whatever, like, and this Sith were like, this motherfucker's causing way too many problems for us. Like, we've been hidden for 900 years at this point. We got a pretty good streak going. We can't let this fucking loser ruin it. Like, that would make more sense to me than what we ended up getting.
Dude, I would have changed to, I would have been like, okay, this show's actually dope. Because, like, it would have been like,
it would not have been dope.
Well, not dope, but you know what I mean? Like, compared to what it was. And it's like the mobsters, like the gangsters, the top level guys. And you got this little fucker who's like some low tier. What the fuck was that? Dog?
It doesn't sound like a cat.
The dog agrees too. And then you get this low level guy, Chimere, just running around thinking he runs shit, and then they just take his ass out, and all the other Jedi.
So you guys need to think more spiteful, okay? You got to think like them. I was thinking, me and Free were talking about a season 2. Turns out Saul faked his death. He pretended to fall over. He wasn't actually dead. And when she burned him, he rolled off the thing, and she thought he was dead, definitely. And then he goes and meets a friend of his, suits up John Wick style, and starts fucking just going after the entire. He realizes that Vernestra framed him, and that she's corrupting the whole Jedi Order. So he has to, kill a bunch of her lieutenants, like Basil, like fucking Mog.
And then, we all want Basil to die. Like, slowly, like Basil, not only just death, I want someone to put him on a spit roast.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, yes, Shad. That's the half season payoff is he's fucking eating the corpse with his like friend. Like the fucking porgs or whatever. Yeah, and then he gets around everyone. He gets to May and Osha.
Wait, the Asian guy
killed our mum.
The Asian guy eating
dog.
Eating dog. Eating
clearly a
beaver. Eating some beaver.
I just like that Saul surviving. It means that when he said, it's okay. She's like, what, you mean you forgive me? He's like, no, I'm okay. You're actually quite weak. You got
No, I'm fine. You're untrained, so it's not that bad.
It's really pathetic.
And then the scene we need is when he finally gets to Osha and May to kill them. They're like, you killed our mum. And he's like, yeah, she fucking deserved it. She was a horrible fucking monster. Whatever. I don't even
Dude,
care.
she like, had sharp teeth, black eyes.
Turned into
What
a
do you want me to do?
smoke monster, man.
That's all he needed to say as well. When she said, "Did you kill my mother?" He says, "Yeah, because I was saving your life, you retard. Your mother was evil."
I was having flashbacks to Last of Us Part 2 because of the fact that they didn't mention the mind control Kelnaka. They didn't mention all the shit that happened with the disintegration of a child. Like, these are the most important elements. You just fucking leave them out. Because when he says, I was protecting you, they don't go any further. They just say, so why didn't you say anything? And then he comes up with the excuse he does not give from the reality of the actual scene, where Indara ordered him not to say anything. His master at the time. Why didn't he say that?
The real villain.
He wanted to reveal it to the council.
Yeah.
It is because, and it's why Khmer says, and Leslie Edlin said, well, I need you to agree with what the reason why he's doing it, which is why she said freedom, because they're like, well, you can't disagree with freedom. Well, he wants the freedom to murder people, and so, but with Sol in this instance, anything he does which restricts them from doing literally anything is so morally like horrific to them that he's inevitably wrong. Like anything that comes after that action, he should never have stopped them doing something.
I think
that kind of
I think their baseline, and this is where things get screwed up, because even the message is effed up in this. The message that they're trying to push is absolutely messed up. But like with Indara, I think their baseline is, it's a man telling a woman what to do. We can't have that, so we got to do it the other way around. I know it doesn't make sense, but we're Disney. So, fuck it.
She was the only one out of the 4 original Jedi that got assassinated that had a spine in Dara, and she only had a spine for about 5 seconds.
The fact that Torben killed himself over what happened is
The witches infiltrated his mind. I think that's very violating to do to somebody.
Yeah, just a tad.
And then you think, oh, she invaded my mind. Now I find out that the witches created these 2 girls. Let's go save these girls from these witches. That seems very altruistic and the right thing to do. And then when you are there, they attack you and turn into a scary ghost like smoke monster.
Yes,
totally justified. The Jedis did 0 wrong. They were the ones that were attacked. What is this show? What's the moral of this?
Even further.
He just drove to their house.
Relativism.
Right? Torben even has a defense that his obsession with going home was implanted in there by the witches. Everything that happens is the witches' fault. Okay? They cause it all, and the Jedi have an easy reason to explain.
Let's go further. Season 2, Saul uncovers that it's actually Indara telling... it would be Venestra telling Indara and the Space Witches. They're all a part of one big conspiracy to bring down the Jedi, to alter people's minds and memories, to make them think they were wrong, to make them think they were guilty. We find out they did that to Kelnaka, to Torben, and to Sol himself, but he gets his memories back, and that's why he's on a fucking rampage to kill them all. I'd watch that.
But instead, they blamed the man. Jedi Master Nepo was the true villain. And at the end, with that Yoda scene, it creates so many problems for a show that already had so many problems. Dude, the list
it effectively makes Yoda complicit in all of this now.
Yes.
They've assassinated Yoda.
No, don't worry. The alternative is that he's retarded. So we go.
Yeah, right. Like, gosh, they're gonna ruin everything we love, and it's intentional.
That goes without saying, Shad.
It's already been ruined. Well, it's already been ruined years ago.
The reason it's so easy to guess what's going to happen in all of these IPs right now is what Mauler said earlier. Just go with the most spiteful thing possible. And that's what they'll do. Hey, let's take Guy Ladriel and put her in armor and make her a dude slaying orcs, because it's the most spiteful thing possible to Tolkien. And we'll get to him later, by the way. Rachel Maddow decided to open her cow mouth about J.R.R. Tolkien, which is making the rounds on Twitter the last couple of days. But just think the most spiteful thing, and that's why it's just, it's easy to predict. If there is a man in it, he'll be bad, he'll be duplicitous, or he'll be effeminate and basically an assistant. You know, Morg, yeah.
Whatever
the fuck his name is.
Mog. Dude, I want a slapstick comedy spin-off, Mog and Basil. Like, please.
And Jediah Beatties.
Put that in theaters. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Jediabetes? Did he make it? I hope he did.
So Ryan,
that's
I got a
Obi-Wan,
question.
That was Boogie.
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ryan, I got a question for you. So if, let's say, you were positioned to make a show 80 years or 90 years before episode 1, knowing the confines that we have, what would you do?
Wait, like you have to work with everything that's already been established, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like you can't really create death. You can't really,
So if I was going to this, I've actually talked about this before. I would actually do a show from the Sith perspective. I don't know if I would set it 80 or 90. I might set it a little before because you would be kind of locked in with different Sith you'd have to use. Maybe do it a little bit before, but have a Sith show this to see the dynamic between a master who holds the power and the apprentice who's craving that power. So you always do have that tension that is specifically supposed to be there with the rule of 2, but something happens, one of them fucks up, and the Jedi do get a hint that something weird is going on. And the entire show is the Sith trying to stay one step ahead of the Jedi and cover their tracks as the Jedi are getting closer and closer to potentially discovering this big secret. And all culminates. And while you're doing that, the master and apprentice are fucking bickering while knowing that either one could stab each other in the back at any time. But it all does culminate in a very Bane and Zana-esque type of fight where they do end up in an altercation with Jedi. They do have to fucking cover it up and convince people that something else happened. And maybe even at the end of that, after that's done, you do see the apprentice kill the master. That's what I would do if I was going to make a show like this based on dark side users. But I would also make sure to show the Jedi in a very heroic light and to make it very clear that even though you can be kind of like rooting for the Sith because they might be like compelling, interesting characters, they are truly fucking evil. Like that's how I would structure this.
Just for the record, because of what you just said, they really fucked up when they said this was supposed to be criticism of the Jedi as an institution, when the Jedi as an institution told them to leave that culture alone.
Yes.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
They couldn't keep their story straight, but they really wanted to get to the sympathetic Sith because that's who the Empire Disney can identify with. And the biggest problem with that,
the space Nazis.
Yes, yeah. Eric Kane from Forbes pointed out in his article, kind of, he was joking about it, but it was true that if you're trying to make the Sith sympathetic, they're the impetus for the space Nazis. So we're trying to make the space Nazis sympathetic. I also pointed out what was on that guy who used to co-host our show who died. Can't remember his name. He had a Funko
Arizona.
Rufus.
Rufus.
That's what it was.
Yes,
Rufus Scrimgeour.
Yeah, he had a Funko Pop Stormtrooper that's painted like a rainbow flag, which is the funniest piece of merchandise I could possibly think of. Like, if you really wanted to clown
Stormtroopers,
all of that's the one you make. That's the one you make.
There's a special concentration camp just for him.
Yes.
But yeah, and I am not inherently opposed to a situation where the Sith they are nearly discovered and exposed and do have to kill some people and cover it up. In 1,000 years of the rule of 2, there were some close calls. Even 10 or 15 years into the rule of 2, there was a very close call where Bane and Zana almost got discovered, and they had to essentially trick this guy and blame it on someone else. And the Jedi, they did it in a good enough way that the Jedi kind of fell for it and put it to rest. But the problem is they tried to market this as a Sith show, and we really barely got any of that at all. Mm-hmm. And they made it seem like they're the good guys and the Jedi are the bad guys.
Yeah, and
they had to
the
be the good guys though, because Leslie said that the twin story was it was basically a self-insert. It was the story about her and her own twin that she fell out with.
Yeah,
and so when you come from that perspective, well, she can't make
What exactly did those two sisters do in real life, by the way? Yeah. Now I'm curious.
Fall for an evil man by the sounds of it. I mean,
and we have seen Sith are not the only potential enemy of the Jedi. There are these other little kind of cults out there that have discovered throughout the years, but also there's Jedi that have just gone dark. There's Jedi that have fallen. It's probably why in Phantom Menace, even when Qui-Gon is confronted with someone holding a red lightsaber, it's everyone's kind of first instinct to hand wave away that it could be a Sith, right? Because you have seen dark Jedi in the past or people that have fallen or whatever. And even Dooku, right? Even Dooku, they're like, oh, it couldn't possibly be blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, like I don't think that just because Jedi end up dying against someone that automatically that means the Sith are going to be uncovered. Yeah. But you have to do it in a way that makes sense and is believable that they would not believe that the Sith had returned.
Yeah, but they haven't seen a red lightsaber and the death of multiple Jedi in 1,000 years.
That's a long
like
time.
Yoda would have felt this shit. The Jedi would have felt this shit. Like there's
and now he's complicit.
There's no. It's not like one. It's not like one Jedi dying, which they figured it out in Dara. They already felt it. They already saw it. They already knew about it. It was like 10 to 12 Jedi that died, and nobody felt shit. Not Yoda. No one. And it was all done by a red lightsaber. Even the fucking politician guy. How did he know that there were dying Jedi? And then Vernester's like, there were multiple. And he's like, multiple?
Well, probably because the report of Indara was the only like report that was like an official report, right? Like that would be my guess, which is why he didn't know about anybody else, about Torben killing himself, about Kelnaka fucking sliced up while he's eating his grass stew, and about the...
Whoa. Torben ain't remaining a secret. All the people in that Jedi temple all saw what happened, so...
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like
true.
that's...
But he,
and the idea that you could fucking frame Soul for him poisoning himself, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the fuck is the logic?
I didn't even
there?
think you need anybody to frame that on. Like, he just fucking, he did it.
He did
Yeah,
it.
but
Yeah.
they knew it was like someone had broken in and gotten out, whatever. Like, it's not
Someone
like
must have convinced him to kill himself.
I mean, like, if you can...
Yeah,
if you
that was
can,
really
if you can
fucking weird,
open,
right?
Mauler, if you can open the door that was, like, derelict for however many years, 16 years, I mean, I'm sure there are freaking cameras that they could probably tap into and see that whole recording of everything that went down.
The show shot itself in the fucking face, because when they went up to Torben's body, I can't remember who says it, but they say a line like, "Oh yeah, he didn't just kill himself; somebody did it to him." It's like, what? I remember saying like, "How do you know this?" Like, just like, well, they just do. Fuck you. You're like,
if the dude know where Soul would have been when all these things were happening, so it's like people would have seen that he wasn't there when these people died.
It couldn't fucking be Soul, but I guess Venestra's actually going to try and convince. Venestra is such a moron. Actually going to try and convince everybody of all of this. It's insane.
I hate that character.
Good luck.
We've been over it, but like her idea to frame Soul is much worse as a cover story than the reality, which is some person. I don't even know if it's a creature of some kind is killing Jedi. I'm going to find them and stop them. That's the truth.
Yeah, but when he said, like, okay, so what happens when you've got unchecked power, right? What happens when one of you fall? Who's going to stop them? Well, we will. Like, we literally train them. There's loads of us. We can stop them. That is more of an argument why you need to exist in the universe to police your own people than anything else. Otherwise, like, what?
That's why you would look for virgins. You would investigate things like this. You would ask them to train the.
For the record, his dumbass speech is supposed to be foreshadowing Anakin's story, right? But that doesn't even make sense, because Anakin would have been stopped if not for Palpatine's work. Palpatine facilitated the entire situation, and they practically ignored it. Been like, "Oh, all it'll take is for one of you to snap." It's like, no.
It's the same with that super fucking self-righteous bullshit line by Black Witch bitch when she says, you know, someday your noble intentions will get your entire order destroyed or whatever. I was gonna fucking say something, and I totally lost my train of thought.
All right.
While you think, I can't fucking resist.
Sorry. Because like with when she decides the line, so yeah, this is a Jedi that went bad and killed a bunch of people. Like, that is only going to make the Senate look even further into you. More investigative powers, like maybe check your power, rather than if you say, listen, there's a threat out there that is powerful enough to destroy Jedi. So you can look into it, you investigate if you want, but this is the reason we need to exist, to protect the galaxy. If he can take down 8 Jedi the way he has, like, think of what danger that could put everyone in. That would basically
bolster them.
It would bolster them. It would say, hey, this is why the Jedi do need to exist. And if you want to look in, maybe we'll take these considerations about what we may or may not do with our order, but we do need to exist, and this is why. It's a perfect reason.
Yep.
It would be like, if I was like the Jedi and they were doing this, the Jedi would be like, hey, maybe we should have like a false flag attempt or something to be like, hey, this is why we need to have this power, guys, to convince the Senate that the Jedi are needed.
Internal affairs makes sense to an extent, but like the idea that you'd ever come close to dissolving the Jedi of their power, it's like, good luck dealing with all the fucking psychopaths out in the galaxy. And then, of course, the irony of the entire point of the writer where it's like, leave this culture alone. It's like, exactly. Who do the lesbian space witches answer to? They're allowed to torment people at free will. How is this better than the Jedi? The Jedi do mind tricks, right? Which you could say is a violation. They do with their prisoners. They'll find out exactly what they did. It's like, yeah, you could say that this freedom's being violated for sure. There's a discussion to be had. How is that not even remotely as bad as mind raping people until they're terrified and they're on their knees?
Yeah.
Why do they think the space witches are better? They're clearly worse.
Well, they identify with the space witches.
It's just so funny to hear it self-righteously be like, the Jedi will be destroyed by their noble intentions. It's like, we're going to kill all of you for being fucking villainous. Like, you understand that? You're going to bring it on yourselves.
I think Indara explained why the Coven of Witches were deemed to instantly be better than the Jedi. When the Jedi said, "Oh, I think we need to go in there because they're doing this to kids," and she was like, "There's 50 of them." No, there's 50 women. Like, it was literally because they were a Coven of Witches that just meant, oh no, we've got to be really careful at this because obviously they couldn't be up to anything wrong. It was literally the police because the Jedi were essentially policing this. They can't actually go around and police people that aren't them. It was
right. And that's what I find so interesting about the show, because the show thinks that it's presenting the witches as the good people and the Jedi as bad. The show thinks that Sol is the bad guy and the twins are sympathetic and you should, that's what it actually thinks. And it's from the creator's perspective, because that's who they identify with, right? But when you just watch it and look at the evidence presented before you, it's blatant beyond any doubt that the witches are insanely evil, that the twins are unbelievably evil, and hilarious that the show actually confuses itself. The creators are so confused that they thought these were the good people. And it's like, holy crap, the only way you could think that is if you were writing from a certain perspective and you are identifying with this. It's like amazing.
We've seen this so many times before, where the writers have a perspective on the world that I don't know where that came from, but it seems pretty evil.
Yeah,
you'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Yeah,
there's a line that they thought was a good line after someone that was torturing an entire city full of people. It's the same kind of people writing this story.
How Smilo justifies himself, right? Like, the Jedi won't allow me to be a very powerful being that I can do whatever I want. Therefore, it's okay that I just hunt them down and kill them.
Yeah, if you're oppressed, you're morally justified to do anything. Like, the fact that somebody is, even if you are being oppressed for the correct reason, so putting someone in prison because they're a criminal is oppression. Yes. But the fact that you are imposing your will on somebody else means that they are justified to do anything to you, because that's like the worst moral boundary you can break.
100%. That's where I think they're coming from, Disparu. You hit it on the head.
And that like intersectionality, like that is the point of this series. It's why it was created, so they can use Star Wars as a platform to view oppression, oppressors versus the people that are oppressed, like in Star Wars through the light of modern day identity politics.
Yep.
That was it.
For the modern audience. Before you go, Ryan, let's do some numbers here. You got to bounce early. I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Master.
This you're welcome.
I'm impressed.
This series cost $180 million. Lady Gravemaster has done some math, and it's 5.48 hours long. So each episode, 23 million for episode 1, 21 for 2, 24 million for episode 3, 19 million, 19 million, 21 million, 24 million, 26 million. It was, again, 5.48 hours. That is $32,846,715.33 per hour. And
we
it's
get that includes credits and the rerun.
Yeah,
does that include the credits?
No, I didn't. I wanted to get this fast. Yeah.
The runtime does include the credits, so it may take 7 minutes off whatever those.
You might want to do that. So this is.
But of course, they had to pay for that song.
They did.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's $547,112.46 per minute.
Yep.
Per minute.
If you took that and just found fans like Star Wars Theory and other great people that have made fan fiction movies, like fan films, tell them, hey, you guys split this up. Let's make a bunch of different content. You do so much better for the Star Wars community, man.
Half an hour of Acolyte is how much they spent on Godzilla -1. A half an hour.
crap!
That's so sad.
Holy
Dude, what they spend per minute is what it's going to cost me to make episode 2, and what they spend for another minute is what it's going to cost me to make episode 3.
Insane.
Which is insane.
And the passion behind that, if they gave that to so many different people that actually had passion for Star Wars, that actually knew what Star Wars was, understood the lore. But, you know,
that's the
Disney,
thing,
it's,
if you make cheaper shows, you can make more shows, and so you can give lots of people the opportunity, and then just pick up the best ones, and then double down on theirs. When
You mean make pilots? Yeah, they stopped doing that.
Yes, actually.
They stopped doing that.
I've just
They don't
reinvented
do
the
that
same
anymore.
television.
Ryan
That's
has
the difference. They don't pilot. They
Ryan
just
has
spit
to
it out
take
on us.
off. So take
Yeah.
it easy, Ryan.
Sorry I couldn't stay for the whole time. I decided to be a crazy week for me, and I'm once again on location somewhere else. But I will be in another week. I'll be back home for Friday Night Tights, so that will be good.
And
But,
Stargrift.
And Stargrift, probably. What I don't know when we're gonna do that. Maybe
Two
the following
Mondays
Monday.
from now. When,
There you
when
go.
you're
2
available.
Mondays from now. So a week and a half, Stargrift reunion to talk about the Acolyte. I believe as well, if you check out the newest Nielsen ratings, I believe the Acolyte didn't appear. Not just not in the top 10, not just not in the top 10, but also not in the top 10 of original programming.
Oh no!
Which I believe, which means it probably got less than, which means it's probably less than like 250 million. I believe that's probably a first for Disney. Wow.
Yeah, Andor's going to pass it up. It will be the lowest rated, worst Disney Star Wars show ever, as it should be. Ryan,
Well, Andor, the difference with Andor is like it
went up.
did not have a great start, but it retained audience and actually maybe even built audience going on. So, but that's enough babbling from me. I will talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later.
See you, dude.
Take care.
Okay.
By the way,
it's the-
Jeremy is still driving. Is that what he's doing? Probably. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the smart thing at this point.
Those viewing figures, right? This has been such a disaster for Disney. No matter how much they try and cope and lie, right? Like there are people in there, but few they are, right, that are aware of how disastrous that is, and that's what makes me doubt that they might do a season 2. If
they will,
yeah, but like Shad, they're making a Ray movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not slowing down.
Well, they just write it off, man. No problem.
The only thing that makes sense is a Mandalorian season 4, even after that garbage third season. Like it still makes sense, and they turn that into a movie because they have nothing. And we'll see if these movies actually happen. By the way, we hear a lot of announcements. We'll see if Ahsoka season 2 happens.
Well, I want a Boba Fett season 2, but I want it done right.
Fucking hell.
I saw this
I
the other
want
day,
him to
but
stop.
it was fake.
What's that?
Season 2.
You could zoom in on it, Garrett.
There you go.
No, on him. on Star Wars Theory. On Star Wars Theory. I got it.
Well done.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they've ruined the character.
Yeah,
But it was
it's
fake.
a little too late at this point.
No, put the ratings
That's why I
back
said
up.
just stop. Just
Put
stop.
the ratings back up. Put the ratings back
Oh
up.
my God, so many things. Fuck. Too many words. All right.
Jesus.
So this is top 10 streaming originals.
This is original. So like click
Not
overall
on
real
here.
quick just to get for reference.
Overall.
We got Bridgerton, which is the biggest fantasy out there.
I didn't know it was so popular.
I don't know either. It is shit.
One
Women
word.
love it.
One word.
Women.
Women. That's what it is.
Yeah, but this
Not
that's the
cat
same
ladies.
audience, though. That
Not
audience is
cat
the one
ladies.
that's the Acolyte is meant for. It is literally just meant
Yeah.
to be like the romantic fan fiction.
So we got The Boys is on. This is streaming. So this is overall. We got House of the
Streaming.
Dragon. That's great. It's a great show. The Boys sucks ass. Bluey, which blows everything away.
That's the only Disney Plus showing, by the way.
By the way,
That's the only
I'm
one.
still working on the intersectional feminism and Bluey video. That'll be out at the end of the year.
Evergreen content right there.
Gray's.
Hey Gary, did you see the boys got in trouble again with the latest episode?
Oh yeah, they did. What was the title of it again?
Oh, I don't.
It was something like
Assassination Game or
it was
something?
Assassination Game,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, they had to change it. But the previous controversy was over the Huey stuff, like his sexual abuse not being taken seriously. In the newest episode, he's been sleeping with someone for apparently like 20 times without realizing it was a shapeshifter. And then his girlfriend is like, "You didn't know that wasn't me?" And he was like, "No."
Dude.
And then he asked that shapeshifter to marry him. He's like spent loads of time with it, and the whole scene is her chastising him for not realizing it was her. And so fans are like, he got raped. You fucking idiot. But like the writers don't give a shit.
Literally, and she like shoved her finger or like pegged him or something like that.
Yeah.
He didn't question at any point.
He didn't think it was her.
No, he was like, well, that's new, and because she was like getting all freaky and putting the star. Well, I guess I'll ruin it, but putting the Starlight outfit on, like fulfilling his sexual fantasies with his girlfriend, and then he started to realize he's like, oh shit, this is a shapeshifter who like stabbed me just a few episodes before.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. So
was that the pegging?
Kind of. If you're sensing that the morals might be a little off in Hollywood, I remember Mauler, 2020, when or 2021 when Wonder Woman 84 came out.
And, oh my god, dude! Oh my god,
good old days. The good old days.
Patty Jenkins completely just didn't even hundreds of people missed that.
Well, wait. So, Theory, do you know about this? Do you know what he's referencing?
Wonder Woman 84. I saw it. It was with the cheetah girl.
Yes.
Yeah. But the controversy about a certain event in that film that kind of destroyed it.
No.
Wonder Woman raped a guy.
Yeah, she flat out rapes a guy.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gary, do you want to give it a try explaining the mechanics of
so Steve Trevor died, and he takes basically the body of some other guy. Right, he was brought back by like a monkey paw wish thing, but he's
Chris
just
Pine.
Chris Pine's character is taking the body of another guy, and then they have
temporarily taking it
temporarily,
and so that guy is still alive, is still inside, just
somewhere,
his body. Yep.
He's somewhere in there, yeah.
And by the way, Wonder Woman, she knows this, and when she looks at this guy, she doesn't see Steve Trevor, she sees the other man. Right, and so she knows.
But we see Steve Trevor, so it feels like, it's Steve Trevor, but it's not. It's
and
not.
They have sex,
and then just the cherry on top. When she got criticism for this, Patty Jenkins, the writer-director, she retweeted someone explaining how it's actually a reference to Big, and it's supposed to be fun.
Oh, what?
Big?
It was one of the movie. The fucking movie with Tom Hanks. It's absolutely some of the most bizarre shit that you'd ever seen. She just retweeted a guy being like, hey, this is kind of like Big.
Which is also a little sus. It's a weird thing. It's a kid in a man's body, and you're having sex with a kid in a man's body. Weird on top of it. Why would you then put that in your movie?
She's probably going to get pregnant and then force him to pay child support afterwards.
Well, it's downright tame compared to what's going on now.
And it did major damage to her career, that movie. She lost so many other opportunities, and so many people took her so much less seriously. Because you have Wonder Woman, did really well. Those people loved it. And so it was like, you know what? You got something, Patty. You should get full control over the next one. And then they regretted that immediately.
Instant regret. And then she lost her Star Wars movie. Big shocker.
Right.
Big shocker. So yeah, if you're wondering, Hollywood doesn't know good from bad. And they don't know heroism. Moral relativism doesn't belong in fucking Star Wars. You could probably explore it, and they did in the EU. Once you've established good and evil, they have to be fully established, good and evil. And then you could start playing in the corners of the universe a little bit. But Disney Star Wars has never done that. They've made the Jedi completely suck. The Jedi fucking suck.
They're losers.
Yeah.
They're stupid losers.
Oppressors, losers. You name it, man.
You name it. So put those ratings back up. So we have the overall ratings that the Acolyte didn't appear on at all. And we see the boys and House of the Dragon and Bluey and NCIS and Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. I don't think that cost $180 million. So then you go to original. Now this is where it's supposed to show up. It's supposed to be here. Even at like number 9, for Christ's sake, Star Trek Discovery for the first time ever cracked the top 10 of original with its final season.
Seriously? With the final season got on?
Wow.
Yeah, it did.
I'm actually impressed.
It was a very low number, and there was no competition at all. There was no House of the Dragon.
Well, I mean, nobody talked about it.
Nobody.
Didn't see a single fucking post about that season.
In a little bit, we'll talk about Netflix just got rid of their lowest tier or their cheapest non-ad tier. It's gone. And we're well on our way to getting ads, but there's also an article where Netflix and YouTube are just crushing every streaming service. They're all done. They're all dead at this point. You can put it back up. I was just going to get back.
Really? Netflix and YouTube, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, Netflix and YouTube. YouTube is actually has Netflix is the best streamer that puts up original content. YouTube is beating Netflix. So yes. So no Acolyte. There's no Acolyte
Holy
here
shit.
at all.
YouTube is that big, huh?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right on, boys.
Well, YouTube was able to integrate into living rooms. So it's not just phones now. It's not just on your desktop. People are actually watching streams in their home theater or on their TVs now. And that has finally crossed over.
Right on.
It's not just that. Like Netflix, they're making 8 episodes for $100 million compared to as many people are on Earth that could populate it with content down to a very specific niche. Right. The streamers just can't compete.
Netflix tried to throw a little shade at YouTube about that. And it's like, I'll tell you right now, I talked to somebody at Netflix back in 2016 when they were discussing having people put content on Netflix. So they did seriously consider it. Yes.
Look at Mr. Beast. He's doing an Amazon.
Could have made that move.
Now.
That's incredible. I never thought I would see the day.
Yeah, they still might, but they were very seriously considering it.
The most interesting to me was when they were going to put Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's fight live streamed on Netflix.
Yeah.
That to me, I was like, that's a difference.
Well, dude, that Tom Brady roast that was live, that was fucking awesome. It was
they're
brilliant.
doing live comedy as well. I think Joe Rogan's
WWE
going to do
going
one
there next year.
No, Joe Rogan's doing one next month here in San Antonio. And you can't get tickets. I tried. Plus, it's on Friday, so I can't make it. I got my own show to do.
We just do it live from the front row.
Sure. No Acolyte at all. But we were told that this was actually a hit about 4 weeks ago from the Access Media.
Well, what they
happened?
said was that it was the biggest show of 2024 for Star Wars or something like that, but there was like no other Star Wars show.
Yeah.
It was the Bad Batch. So it's like,
So
clever.
it beat out the Bad Batch. That's crazy.
Oh, look, Mayor Kingstown. Hey, look at that. I got to watch that. All right. Now we can take it down.
I want to get you a little larger on the screen so when you're talking, people can see you.
It's all good. Nobody needs to see me. I'm old. I'm
just
tore
kick you
up.
out.
Yeah. I don't
Nah,
even
man,
know
you're
why
just
I'm on
getting
camera.
Like you're super
Yeah.
smaller.
I tell myself that every morning after it
just
takes me an
getting
hour to get out of bed. Okay.
I'm the king.
Just hop on the Joe Rogan protocol. You'll be fine.
There you go. Oh, sure.
Ice baths and ivermectin.
And
Those are
TRT.
great.
Yeah, and TRT.
And microdosing, yeah.
No,
Don't
no
forget that.
microdosing. Can't do that. Can't do that.
If it's double micro.
So, final words on the Acolyte.
It's shit.
It's horrible.
I'm so
worst
glad
show
we
I've
don't
ever
have to
seen.
watch it anymore.
Well,
I am
here's
too.
a question for all of you. Was it better, worse, or about neutral with what you were expecting?
Worse.
It was actually worse. Because there are a couple of things that you kind of expect.
That's
with
a good
it being
poll,
bad,
X-Ray Girl.
Nonsensical writing and things like that. It surprised me that this show, it contradicts previous law. Okay, I've seen that before. It contradicts its own episodes in previous episodes. I've seen that before. But contradicting its own stuff in its own episode, in a single episode, it flat out contradicts it. Jedi can't be killed with lasers or knives. When you see them kill with with steel in the episode, did someone with split personality write this crap? How does that get made? How can people miss such blatantly stupid crap like that? I can't believe it. I mean,
it makes Madam Web look amazing. Like that line from Madam Web, don't
Madam
do
Web
dumb
was
things.
amazing.
It applies to the show. Don't do dumb things, and you did it.
It's all first draft. There's never a second draft on any of these.
As long as you do it for free, I would downright recommend watching Madam Web with friends.
Yes,
Honestly,
it's
yes.
funny.
It's funny as hell.
It was a good time.
That was the thing with this show. I expected bad plot. I got that. I expected them to all be evil. I got that. I was not expecting the power of many. And I thought that's it. That's the low point.
Yes.
And then we had episode 6 where he's literally going, feels good to feel one in your hands again, doesn't it? And I'm like, this is amazing. That was my high point. And then it finished in the romance scene, if you put on the audible description, and it goes with, and a confident expression dawns over Osha's face, and nothing changes on her face. We literally she's getting told to change her expression and she can't. I'm like, that is the best ending I could have asked for.
Oh man!
And did you guys pick up the Nazgul screams from Osha in this episode? When she did, when they started the fight, she did that little slide across the floor. She practically went. It was just like, what the fuck?
Where did that come
she had
from?
like several of those screams this whole season.
I think that was the writers and them writing what they know. You know, they love to scream at the moon and scream in broad
Well, they needed her to
daylight
move her face and emote somehow, and the only way she could manage to do it was scream. It was worse than I thought. It was much worse than I thought it would be.
I'm inclined to agree with what Shad said. I figured they would piss all over Star Wars and correct Star Wars, so to speak. Didn't really expect just how much incoherent nonsense they would have for their own work. And I was going to go further than by episode or even by scene, by line sometimes. You have characters like establish a particular point of view, and then it's just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, that Basil shit will be sitting in my head forever. I was like, what the fuck? It's so funny. Everybody I've seen their reviews of was like, what the fuck was Basil doing? It's like,
I think he's a Sith.
What is his motivation? I don't understand.
Yeah, if a Wookiee can be a Jedi, why can't a non-binary beaver?
So, who's worse, Basil or Jar Jar Binks? Like,
Basil. Jar Jar ain't bad.
Jar Jar's a hero.
Depends if Jar Jar was Darth.
Yeah.
Jar Jar is a fucking war hero, and you will respect him.
Basil's worse. Basil's worse. We don't know what his motivation is. The only thing that would have made sense is he was Basil Soze at the end. Like he was the
he was the Sith.
He was the Sith. If he was behind everything.
I just cannot believe that Saul didn't address him, yell at him to ask why or whatever. Saul just takes it as a matter of course, like, yeah, that happened.
Force throw his ass into the wall. I mean,
I would have jettisoned him out of an airlock.
He turns around and like, what the fuck are you doing? Just like throws him into the wall.
You get these.
That moment is why Saul's dead. Basil killed Saul.
He did.
Yes.
He did. Absolutely. And when major revelations are revealed, nobody asks questions. Hey, you were actually made by your parents. Okay, but you killed my mom. No, did you not hear the part where I said your mom created you? Maybe before you kill him, you go, really? You want to tell me more about that?
Just like The Last of Us Part 2, Abby doesn't ask any questions about the nature of Joel killing her dad. Same in this show. You killed my mom. It's like, do you want to know why? Do you want to know what happened? No? Not at all.
To be fair, none of them ever asked where their dad was.
That's true.
What?
No one ever asked where their dad was.
Nobody asked, like, where's Daddy?
Why is he not here? Why
are we the only kids here?
Because we artificially created you from the Force, something nobody else can do.
Yep.
And now Darth... fuck this.
There's no rationalizing.
We just don't give up in real time.
Did you guys see the...
It's a hack TV show written by hack writers for people who hate Star Wars, is what it is. I mean,
Evil
this is
people.
basically on par for what I figured it was going to be.
The life of Star Wars to me is definitely in the, like, it feels better. Just like with Free Folk with Game of Thrones, it feels better when you can just meme on it. And I saw a viral tweet that was like, the shot of Plagueis, the reason for that was he was actually a little bit upset because he didn't have the Wi-Fi password. So when hey, no, wait.
That's hilarious.
Wait a second, please.
Damn it.
So clearly, aside from Disney overall as an organization, we see their two biggest IPs starting to separate now. They were on parallel paths. They were trying to beat each other. We had Forces Female versus MCU. They were they were telling basically they had the same messaging in their story. And the Marvels and the Acolyte were kind of the epitome of that, the end game, the final form. So where do they go from here? I don't think Star Wars is changing at all. I don't think they can change. I don't think anything can save it at this point. It's just going to meander on until they remake the original trilogy. Marvel is trying to fix things. Now, they have a lot of problems too. They still have an Agatha show coming out. They have Ironheart. Echo still exists. Miss Marvel still exists. America Chavez is still out there. They can't just leave these people out. They fucking nerfed Moon Knight, which fucking pisses me off. Moon Knight is a cool character, but they had to saddle him with Egyptian superhero. But we have Deadpool and Wolverine like right around the corner. Next week, we got Deadpool and Wolverine. We got the first serious trailer today. So we're going to
do it.
Let's take a look at that.
Solid. I'm full screening.
A final.
The reason why I don't think the Acolyte is going to turn around is because their sales pitch is all about come here, and it's aimed at middle-aged cat ladies, and those are the people in charge of Star Wars at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And so they will think that the Acolyte is genuinely amazing because it was aimed at their demographic.
Well, it's the push of lifestyle brand. That's what really fucks these things up, because T-shirts always sell more. They've always sell. Batman sales. Batman makes a lot of money for Warner Brothers and DC because they sell a lot of fucking T-shirts and tchotchkes and stuff. It's not the comic books. It's not the movies. It's everything around that. So they wanted to really go full bore because of Wall Street, and they brought in these ladies who graduated women's studies, who don't know shit about shit when it comes to fandom, and they've started introducing lifestyle brands so we could have little Deadpool, purses, that hot topic,
Yeah. That comes from the research that women make 80% of purchasing decisions around the home, but I bet they never looked into who actually buys sort of the all the geek merchandise, which wouldn't be the same.
No, it's a hobby. Let's watch.
And even if sometimes the women make the purchases, usually it's because guys are requesting it. Like my wife, she buys a lot of geeky stuff because she has me in mind, and she's like, "Hey, Shad would like that."
Yep.
And so.
Gifts and such. Yeah.
Guess they forgot to account for groceries.
Shad's the only person when his wife comes back with a sword, he's happy.
Oh, she's done it before. I was like, I love you. I married the right woman. This is happy life, guys. Happy life. Married a keeper.
Yeah. Let's watch this.
All right.
All right, that was terrible. Good start.
Serious. Restarting it.
Yeah.
One of them unconventional trailers.
I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. Or I want to use that for something important. I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. Fuck that, you were the X-Man. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world. Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine. Scott used to beg me to wear this suit. So did Storm and Beast. But I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there. And it was too late. It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save it. Whoever you think I am. You got the wrong guy.
There's X-23.
It's Jackie.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine. Stop it.
Oh, so excited.
Yeah, you can tell that it was a
It was
great
good,
trailer.
dude.
None of us were really talking at all throughout.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
we
it
were
was
like,
so engrossed by
watching
it.
it.
That's rare.
Yeah.
That's rare.
I didn't want to interrupt it. And the thing is, it's worth being slightly cynical on that they might be releasing this to try and convince you there's going to be more meaning in this than there actually is. It could just be a goof fest, right? And that they've edited it to make it look like it's more. I'm hoping it's more.
I am too.
Yeah.
They got the right guy to add that seriousness with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah.
So what a great balance that's going to be with Deadpool's goofiness. And the thing is, they actually touched on something with a bit more meaning and depth. When Deadpool holds up that photo and he says, this is my whole world there, I identify with that. That's bang on the money. That's like, holy crap, someone in Hollywood understands meaning, what is actually valuable in life, your family, and that you would do anything to protect them. Bang! All right,
this trailer is hitting with all Ryan. The right emotional beats right now, which is why it's so fucking good. And it's
the interview with Ryan and Hugh. With Ryan and Hugh, and they talk about how they came up with the idea and how long it took Hugh to come around to the idea of even coming back, because he didn't want to make one unless it really meant something.
Right.
So I believe him. I think that these two are passionate about the characters that they're playing and telling a good story. So I think there will be more than just the funny joke fest, even though it will be, I hope so, funny, very funny, but I think it'll have some heart in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It needs to, or it's just going to be like here's what I'm worried about. Now they're withholding so much from this trailer. Go back to that, Cloud. You were right there. They're withholding everything. Yeah, which they should. But when I see this TVA Loki bullshit, I just
wait. What the?
Yeah, oh God, I hope it works.
Yeah, this is the stupid smoke monster from Loki and the TVA from Loki. You're hoping that'll be a first act, maybe second act feature, and it's going to get annihilated.
Yeah. That's Ant-Man.
Yeah. Well, giant man.
Did we see like Gwenpool in this trailer?
Yeah.
You guys
No, that wasn't Gwenpool. That was Lady Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool.
That was Lady Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
X-23, Cassandra Nova.
I hope if Lady Deadpool takes off her mask and it's just Ryan Reynolds' head.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah.
I completely agree, but people are expecting Blake Lively, right?
Yeah.
I saw a clip. I don't know if I saw a clip of her talking somewhere. I can't remember where now. Of Lady Deadpool without her mask on.
Who's all that behind her?
More Deadpools, I think.
Like
Cowboy Deadpool. You see all those words.
Deadpools, yes.
Oh wow.
Deadpool. Is this Headpool?
It's a Doctor Strange portal as well, right?
Dude, how many Deadpools are there?
Too many.
So
to be
many
honest with you.
multiverses.
Infinite.
I personally cannot stand Deadpool in the comic books. I think he was fine for a while. He had a pretty good run, but the joke gets fucking tired. But the movies have been spectacular. The movies have been.
I rewatched the first movie. Damn, that movie's so good.
God, it's good.
I took advantage of it the first time. I didn't think I was like, oh, this is fun, but it's just a Deadpool movie.
Sorry.
But damn, it's a really fucking good movie.
And you know what's bizarre? Like Deadpool is the franchise that might save the MP.
Fox.
Hilarious.
Fox.
How
the Marvel Jesus.
How the times have changed. The first Deadpool acknowledges it's almost a parasite, like it's trying to get access to the cool kid stuff. And right now, it's the only thing they have to try and stave off destruction. It's insane.
Yeah, but it's like the court gesture facing the king, though. It's like he's the only one out of the entire universe that could comment on Disney making mistakes that wouldn't just get fired.
Yep.
And it allows them to play that role.
And the fact that they're using nostalgia that doesn't even belong to the MC or Marvel, like it belongs to Fox X-Men.
Yeah.
What they're using right now.
Like this shot is this is the hole that's in his skull from X-Men Origins Wolverine, where he gets shot in the head and there's holes in his skull. That's what I'm assuming this is.
I thought she was just poking a hole in him because she's creepy and weird.
Yeah, she can
adamantium.
Is this a different Logan from Logan?
I thought it was a different one.
Yes, it is.
Alternate timeline.
Nova could do
this
that
one,
to him too. So,
judging from the trailers, this Logan has been particularly shit in his timeline.
So there's we have Wolverine in his costume. It took 24 years.
Wow.
And there is no better explanation. This should be a poster for how stupid people are in Hollywood. How fucking stupid. Just look at the Wolverine costume. That looks great. It's fine. Amazing. And it took them 24 years. And now they're running out with videos, patting themselves on the back going, we had this great idea. Let's put on this costume. It's fucking retarded.
And you know what they're going to do next year? The first film they have next year is Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. Have you seen his full costume? Like when the helmet goes over and everything?
Oh, no.
It is terrible. It is legit terrible. The Falcon, the new Falcon, is even worse. But the costume looks like shit in the comic too, so to be fair.
Oh, totally look like shit. That character looks goofy as hell.
So we have this. This is where Hugh Jackman's talking about putting the costume on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frankly, once it's actually done and made. I mean, it's just a work of art.
It is. When we first started this in 1999, there was like, oh, we can't have Technicolor. We can't have all those. That's not going to work. And so everyone was in black leather, basically. And in some part of my brain, I think, was a little institutionalized that, oh, that's the way it is. And then gradually watching the Marvel movies, I'm like, yeah, this actually looks really cool. That looks great. And as soon as I put it on, I can't believe I never had it on before.
Yes. We can't either.
Right. It looked right. It was incredible. The design of it is incredible. And I loved it.
For a lot of Marvel.
So,
That's funny, dude.
As a part of many fans who have been bitching about this for 24 years, you finally did it.
Hey, better late than never.
Helmet on.
I mean,
Helmet
dude,
is on going on, man.
It's the combination of not trusting the source, but also the 2000s black leather was just in. It was in fucking
Daredevil
everything, man.
was red leather.
That's true.
Hey, Gary, I got a question that's like completely unrelated, and I guess everyone else on the panel, but you know, like at Comic Cons, how we have signings and stuff like that of actors and, you know, people who have been in like comic book movies and stuff. What's kind of the cutoff for like why they don't have Hugh Jackman there signing or
It'd be too big.
Just too big.
Too big. Yeah, too big.
Too big.
It'd be nuts. It'd be absolutely nuts if he was
I
just
always
walking.
wondered that. I'm like,
the prices would be
there.
fucking.
There was a
insane.
time.
much of a celebrity.
Theory. There was a time where I remember Tom Cruise walking the floor. Now he had a couple security guard people with him, but he was walking the floor. Like no mask on or anything. So you used to be able to do that. Yeah. Stan Lee used to be able to walk the floor. Now they have to put on masks. It would be a fire hazard. People would go nuts.
Yeah, it would be.
I'll in 2003 when the Hobbits showed up, and they were still filming Return of the King, and they just came in as a last minute appearance. There was a stampede to get to the signings. They did the signings. There was an absolute
You get
stampede.
it with fucking like TikTok
Two,
influences have
2002.
this happening.
Sorry.
Do you remember the controversy with like Logan Paul in his earlier days? He had like a fucking horde of girls that almost ruined everything. I can't remember what con it was, but
it was VidCon.
Yeah, there's a certain level of popularity that actually damages the safety and health of everyone around the entire con.
Did you hear what Bryan Cranston did? He walked around a Comic-Con wearing a mask of his own face.
Yes.
And so when it was him and he could do whatever he wanted, it was awesome.
No, now when you like celebrities will walk around with like a Spider-Man mask on or a Homer Simpson mask, they'll do it. But yeah, it just becomes pandemonium in there, especially at San Diego, where there's technically only supposed to be 125 to 150,000 people in there, but there's way more. And then there's like 1 million people downtown. It's a little nuts. That's next week, by the way.
Is it fun? Yeah, I've had a few friends invite me to go. I just is it worth it? Is it fun?
I think you should go. Yes, it's not as fun as it used to be when Hollywood kind of fucked it up. It used to be really fun.
I've never been to San Diego.
I would go soon because it looks like they're about to lose it. So I would go in the next 2 years just to experience it. Yeah, it's kind of like Nerd Mecca. You know, it's still pretty cool, and there's plenty of shit to do outside. There's the biggest difference now between 20, 30 years ago is there's partying. I mean, the creatives used to party, but the people who went there, we went to shop for comics and we went home and went through our comics. Now there's like massive partying downtown, and they closed down all downtown San Diego now, the gas lamp, and
Really?
it's an experience. Yeah, it's definitely worth going.
You're going next week?
I am.
Next week.
Leaving Monday.
Fun.
Leaving Monday.
Hey, Russos might be back.
Yeah, the Russos are okay. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Marvel knows they fucked up. Are they going to be able to fix it? I don't know. They've dug a pretty deep hole, but I think they're in much better shape than Star Wars is. But the Russos coming back is as good or better for the Russos than Marvel because on their own they're not very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not very.
What
good.
have they done
Marvel,
outside? They
think
did
about-
Community, right? They directed
Man.
episodes of
Gray
Community.
Man.
No, the Gray Man. Oh,
Yeah, Gray Man was crap.
God, that was a bad movie.
But just keep in mind, the last thing they did with Marvel was Endgame, which was also,
Mhm.
I mean,
Crap.
writing wise was
Yeah.
crap.
It was terrible.
Yep.
You're landing a lot of planes there.
I think we're just going to have to find out because there is an argument that Endgame was going to be a disaster, whoever helmed it, because of just the sheer scope of the project or something like that. Who knows how much things got fucked up along the way? Who knows what better films are on the cutting room floor? But like, yeah, this could mean anything. this could be a disaster. This could be okay. This could be good. We really can't tell. They've got a decent track record, but it's old.
Recently, Citadel, Amazon's greatest.
Yeah,
flaw.
I was just going to bring that up.
You know, what's the material they're working with?
Yeah, no,
It's
within. We're talking
phase
about
4.
within Marvel. We're talking about
Yeah.
within Marvel. They go out
That's what I'm saying.
and what Disparu just
Decent
brought.
Marvel track record, but it's old.
Citadel was a massive flop for Amazon. It was the second most expensive show they had done, next to Rings of Power.
And it was supposed to be an international series with lots of spin-offs. It was going to be its own universe again across the entire world. They killed it.
Yep. So yeah, not surprised they went back to Marvel, or they're talking right now, and they'll probably announce it at Comic-Con, right? And they're going to announce their schedule, and we'll see. But it's a better move than what they've done.
The thing about it is, you look at the accolades of like Winter Soldier is considered by many to be the best of the MCU. Civil War is one of my personal favorites from the MCU, and then Infinity War is also beloved by fans. So,
yep,
that's my favorite.
You know, it's like I could totally see people being like, "Holy shit, they could fix this, right?" And it's like,
I don't know, because all right, they're directing an Avengers film. All right, who are going to be the Avengers? What's the line?
It's not even just who it's going to be. What are their orders going to be? What are they going to have to do? What plot points do they have to adhere to?
And what are they setting up for the next event to happen? Yeah, it's going to be. There's a lot of moving parts right now, and they're working with shitty parts.
Exactly.
So.
Marvel wants to move forward with the discount Avengers, right? With Black Falcon, Captain America, and
Black Widow, Black 2 girl.
Oh yeah. Replace Black
She's
Widow.
in the Thunderbolts.
Replaced Iron Man.
Oh, that's right. They're making that separate movie. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So she's already in the Thunderbolts. Chad, I'm going to ask you, Mauler. I'll ask the panel. Who are the Avengers right now?
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Okay.
She-Hulk.
Captain Falcon.
She-Hulk.
It will. No,
they don't have a
seriously,
deal
they
with
keep bringing
Spider-Man,
her up.
so it's not Spider-Man.
Brie Larson.
I mean, if we're being hyper realistic, Doctor Strange is an actual lock-in. I think it's very reasonable to assume that. I don't think it's reasonable to assume She-Hulk is a lock-in. I don't know what's going
They
on
keep
with
putting
it.
on all the Marvel posters whenever they come out with a new
That's
one.
true, but like, I don't know, man. Tatiana Maslany, do they have her ready to go? And the CG is just.
She's not like she's doing anything else.
That's right.
We have no idea. Okay, Hulk.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
The reason
right
why
now.
I
That's
feel
the
like
issue.
Cumberbatch is on board because he cameos in so much shit, and the Doctor Strange movies are doing well. I could totally see him being like, "Yeah, sure, I'm up for it." You'll probably be the leader, right?
They'll put Miss Marvel.
Captain America.
He should be.
Wait. He's not even the Sorcerer Supreme right now. How could he be the leader?
No, he's not. This is what I mean. It's so fucked up. Every fucking part of this is so hard to figure out.
I don't understand how in season 4, phase 4 had so many opportunities to reset everything and stop it and just go, okay, this is a brand new team, and they didn't do that. They fumbled it like 15 different times with different multiverse scenarios.
If we
and now
go
we're
from
stuck with this.
The viability of the movies, Spider-Man is volatile as hell right now because of Sony. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with that, obviously. But Doctor Strange is like their best bet monetarily. Yep. So I assume they're going to focus on him because Captain Falcon's going to fail miserably. We all know this.
Yes.
No way that they're going to make him the front runner.
Captain African American.
The Marvels was a complete fucking disaster too. So it's like, to me, it's like surely Cumberbatch has to be their leading man for the Avengers.
But you think about that movie, that film only did well financially because it was coming off the heels of Spider-Man.
No. I'm saying that they're retarded. That they're going to see it and they're going to be like, we have to go with this. If we're based on anything, ultimately, this kind of means nothing because they might just be like, yeah, put Captain Marvel at the top, even though the Marvels was like our biggest failure.
Because it's not about the characters. You're thinking from that perspective. But it's also, as we saw with The Acolyte, what morality are they going to show? One of the reasons why The Acolyte was so predictable is because they have very strict defined rules of what they've got to show. So you can predict that, this character's in, they can't be evil. Like, you know that for a fact. So you know they can't make Doctor Strange the leader. Like, it wouldn't fit in with anything at all. And they'd have to have him make a mistake, and then by the end he gets kicked out and one of them takes over. They could have him be humiliated.
Depends on what format or formula we're going with, but like I said, if they were going strictly from financial benefits, I mean, we would agree it's probably going to be Doctor Strange you have to put up there. He's the only one with fucking clout left, other than bringing back dead characters or multiversal characters, which is obviously what they're going to be doing anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need to improve that lineup to make the Avengers work again. Yeah. And I wonder, because back, they have changed the lineup of the Avengers many times.
Yes.
Like, Gary, do you remember the new Avengers where they had Wolverine and Spider-Man on there? Like I'm holding.
I was totally fucking against it when it came out. By the way,
really?
Because Spider-Man was on the Avengers. Yes.
Because
Spider-Man's not a team player. But
does Avengers come out before or after?
Four, right? He's allowed
Fantastic Four.
he's allowed to guest with them. Spider-Man's not a team player. Has never been. Throughout my reading the comic books, they changed that. And I like New Avengers. And we had the mystery of Ronin, and it turned out to be Echo, which I fucking
I was going to
hated.
say, Ultimate Alliance, that's Spider-Man, Wolverine, Thor, and who's the Captain America, I think.
Yeah.
I remember liking Spider-Man's interactions with all of them as a team, though.
So
But
right now, what the legit they have, their Vision is still out there. Okay, Hulk is still out there. War Machine is still out there. Falcon is still out there. Possible Wanda's coming. Wanda's coming back. Hawkeye will probably come back.
Yeah,
they were actually going to do something with him, but then he got injured, so they had to put it off for a little while.
Aren't they introducing the Sentry at some point, and they're going to butcher it?
Well, that's what we heard. That's what we heard. That was the rumors going around. There's lots of crazy. There's some crazy rumors going around right now.
It's chaos. Like the amount of cameo characters that they've already introduced too, right? Because we got Charlize Theron playing. What's her name? The sorceress. Yeah, Cleo. That's it. Like there's so many things that they have. They've got spinning tops everywhere. They're all falling over though. Like they know as much as we do ultimately about what the fuck their Avengers team even looks like.
Doctor Strange going to show up with a third eye on his forehead? Like
I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the thing. The endings of all of these movies, I don't know if anybody's taking them forward. You know,
there's Black Knight.
There's people who've made like viral videos of like top 20 post-credit scenes that went nowhere. It's like, yeah, because none of them fucking can. Nobody cares about each other's work in that dumbass cinematic universe.
And nobody's going to remember. And they set up so much stuff with the D+ series that everybody's forgotten now. Do you remember the post-credit scene for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Oh fuck!
It's a fucking. It's a
Elaine?
phone call. It's a phone call. Yes. Yes, it's a fucking
totally forgot
phone
about
call.
that.
Yeah, dude.
Gary, can you? Sorry to detract. Can you explain quickly who Dr. Manhattan really is? Because
Dr. Manhattan.
Why is this dude so powerful? I don't understand.
He was part of an experiment, and he unlocked like godlike powers. I'm gonna give you the basic. Like that's it.
Okay.
There's one of the best sequences in the Watchmen movie is his origin. It's fucking awesome. So son of a watchmaker, and he can reconstruct. He can create matter and reconstruct matter. He has the power of a god. He can travel in time. He can teleport.
Can't
he can
just
do it
like
all.
make a new reality if he wanted to? Isn't that where it ended?
He could
just
duplicate
go off and make
himself.
another-
Like he is an absolutely omnipotent. His whole story was he was losing his humanity as he went on, as he became more of a god, basically.
So he has all the stones, essentially. Like he has the same power as all the stones.
He could beat the shit out of Thanos with the stones.
With the stones.
He's got time.
Yes.
He doesn't have magic, I guess. But
Yeah.
do you need magic when you can?
There would be a fight.
Reconstruct everything.
There would be a fight, but Dr. Manhattan is a god. Is essentially a god. Created by
Well, I said on your tweet, I said like the people who might be able to take him down. It depends on universal rules. Would be someone like a Q from Star Trek, or a Cthulhu type creature that can work on madness. I don't know if that would actually apply to Dr.
Omega levels. Levels. Yeah.
Unicron at the most powerful, which is the universe-eating Unicron or whatever. You got all basically these
thought you said
characters.
unicorn when you wrote that.
It's like,
there's
the
a
unicorn.
There's a magic unicorn.
Now, if you want to put up Dr. Manhattan against like Celestials or something like that, then
Well, Darkseid, right, at maximum power.
Dr. Manhattan probably
Darkseid's
take
still-
him.
Probably. I mean, Omega Beams aren't going to do shit to Manhattan.
Well,
So there's nobody that takes Dr. Manhattan in any.
I just gave you 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were unsure about it.
Well, no, because I don't know if he beats them. Or it's up to you. It's up to the writer at that point.
Who's fastest? You know, like who gets that quick draw pull? Because like if
Exactly.
Dr. Manhattan does it, you just blow off his arm, Thanos' arm.
Well,
It's
so
easy.
like, I think if you did a vote, can Dr.
Yeah, like-
Manhattan be affected by the madness of something like a Lovecraftian monster? Everyone will say different. They'll be like, no, yes, maybe. I don't know.
What does
Depends.
Cthulhu do?
Can you repeat the question?
So just Lovecraftian creatures, like if you expose yourself to them, and it makes your mind incomprehensible of the universe they're a part of. Like everything splits apart in your head. like you just get destroyed mentally. So like, would that kind of thing apply to Manhattan? Maybe. It really depends on the writer at that point.
Well,
Interesting.
Because that's the thing. His consciousness almost seemed to be separate from reality at points and outside of
the
time.
thing is,
and so,
depending on what continuity you're using, he can get mad, Manhattan, and any creature that can like have that kind of coherency probably would be affected by a Lovecraftian creature. But again, you could just say, nah, he's immune. And be like, okay, it's up to you.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
But
this is the peak of fucking nerdom we're talking about right now.
I always wonder
stink,
with
Thanos
factions. I don't. I don't understand like anything really besides Star Wars all that much. So it's like it's cool to me.
I mean, there was still enough humanity left in him to leave. He's like, "Fuck this place. I'm done. I'm gonna go create my own." And then of course the Watchmen TV show came out. Theory and Dr. Manhattan from a distance fell in love with a middle-aged black woman, so much so that he changed his skin color from white to blue to black, back to blue, and then
white to blue to black.
That's it.
I'm explaining the show.
Blue, black, blue.
And then he gave his powers to the middle-aged black woman in the form of an egg, like handing his testicles over at the end.
You left out that he was actually in blackface. Because he's a white dude.
He was in black. He was in black. I did leave that out. From black to blue.
Destroy him.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that, but he's
from
actually
white to blue to black to blue.
That's exactly what I meant, though. Comics. He was in blackface.
And so therefore, feminism can destroy him. There you go.
Yes, it was the love of a middle-aged woman that brought him back. It was so fucking stupid.
So okay. Here's a question: which franchise do you think is the most destroyed? Doctor Who? Star Wars, Marvel,
Doctor Who still.
Dr. Manhattan, the franchise.
He just said he just handed over his testicle to like.
And that show, how stupid they were with the show. It was a sequel to the comics, not the movie. So the one there's actually a good episode in it, Mauler, and they show the giant squid, and I'm forgetting his name now, but the guy who had the balloon over his face, like. They showed his origin. It was completely separate from the other story, and it was actually a good episode. And then they got back to the regular story.
I wouldn't know, Gary. I didn't watch it because I'm not crazy.
Ozymandias had an illegitimate Vietnamese daughter who was much smarter than him.
Should we go, Gary, I was just thinking, should we go left to right from top to bottom? Everyone just say the franchise you think has most been destroyed.
Okay, I'll start because I'm on the left, right? Is it my left or your left?
Yeah.
Or their left?
As one reads, Gary.
Okay. I don't read. What are you talking about? All right.
Top left,
reading in the west, reading in the east. I mean, it does make it.
Counting Acolyte, and it's fucking close, but it's still Doctor Who. Doctor Who's the most destroyed franchise.
Sorry, I want to say Wheel of Time, but there actually are franchises that have been done far more worse and dirty than Wheel of Time.
I think there's a lot now.
Yeah, there's a lot out, right? Holy crap. Look, objectively, probably Doctor Who as well. Star Wars comes in close second for me.
I'm going Star Wars because Star Wars had such high expectations going in. It was such a beloved franchise by so many people. The lore was so great, and the way it's fallen is just it's embarrassing for everyone involved. So I'm going to say Star Wars.
Okay.
I've never seen Doctor Who, so I'm going to say Star Wars as well. And easy way to kind of figure that out is just go watch any of the first 6 films and then compare it to the shit that we're getting today, and you'll be like, wow, yeah, that's a big discrepancy. So Star Wars for me.
Books will be written with how they screwed up the greatest intellectual property, the greatest American story, mythology ever made, how they dismantled it and fucked it up.
And the fans will take it back. Just watch.
I genuinely teeter quite a bit between specifically Doctor Who and Star Wars. I might today settle on Doctor Who, even with the Acolyte, just because of that recent season, man. Combined with several of the other ones that I've seen, that's just insane damage. But I just want to honorable mention real quick for Terminator being the damage they did to Kyle Reese, destruction of Sarah Connor like twice over, John Connor twice over, and then in several of these films they decanonized Terminator 1 and 2 specifically, and then replaced all of it with a girl version and a shit version of Skynet. It's like this doesn't get covered that much because Terminator is just nowhere near as popular, but holy fuck, the damage they did to that franchise is insane.
You know, we should have everyone. Yeah, we're mentioning what we think is the most objectively damaged one, and Doctor Who's coming out on top. But we should also mention, because Mauler, you and I did it, the one that hurts us the most. And for me, Wheel of Time, that hurt. That was.
Yeah,
like,
Terminator is very personal to me, so I took it.
Right. That one is exactly. That's personal. You bastards.
Indiana Jones is also another one that has fallen hard.
There's only 3 Indiana Jones films. I don't know what you're talking about. Disparu.
Yeah. I'd go most destroyed being Doctor Who. We had people dying because they were too racist to allow themselves to be saved. We had him getting his own companion killed because he was too busy trying to get his end away. And then the plot of the finale was, we know you care about this story, but we don't, so we're not going to write one. And so between all that, that's the worst series of television I've ever seen.
What's the one that hurt you the most?
Oh, Wheel of Time, because Wheel of Time started everything.
Yeah.
The reason why I started reviewing TV shows in the first place.
And I think that for me, it comes down to they're both on the same trajectory. Doctor Who just got there first. So I think that as of right now, Doctor Who is the most destroyed franchise, but Star Wars is right up there. It can
pass it up.
It's going to pass it up, I think. Pretty
I think it
quickly,
can.
especially with the Acolyte.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as what hurt the most, I'm going to throw a long one here. So I had so much time and emotion invested in Game of Thrones. Season 8 just destroyed me. Like, it was so abysmal, especially those last couple episodes. So, yeah. And with that, I'll take my leave. So, have a good night.
All right.
Peace out.
Catch you, Odin.
Peace.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.
Comics.
I think just on a pure longevity standpoint, Doctor Who, because it is, the longest running, science fiction franchise out there.
Really? I didn't know.
Yes, it is. 63.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for a very long time, and just having Russell T Davies come back and just fuck everything up even more, it doesn't help. Yeah, and Tenet as well. But the one that like personally affected me the most is going to be Star Wars.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that hurt them might be Tennant's series. Those 3 episodes.
Those specials like that was bad.
I think that
stung.
was a bigger betrayal than Wheel of Time. Actually,
that fucking stung.
I'm gonna say something so you guys can have a good laugh at me here with my ignorance. For the longest time, pretty much until maybe like a month ago, I thought Doctor Who was and I'm forgetting the name now. What was the movie, that famous detective with they did a whole bunch of
Sherlock Holmes?
Pink Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock
Yeah. I thought that was Doctor Who.
All British people.
Oh my god!
Yeah. All you
X-Ray girls got competition.
All you Brits
You should definitely check out the 2000 series of Doctor Who, starting from there and stopping at Capaldi, because it's very good.
Sherlock Holmes been around a little longer than Doctor Who.
There is
just a tad.
Yeah, just
There
a
is,
tad.
some cross-pollination.
There is cross-pollination. Yes, there is.
If I want to watch Doctor Who, is this a current show that's going on?
Yeah, so
yeah, but you don't want to watch it now.
Yeah, you watch
Is
it.
it Marvel? Is it Marvel? What is it?
No.
It's Disney's running it right now, but it's British. It's a British series that came out on the BBC in 1963. And it's an institution.
Please say British.
British. It's a British series, right? And it's part of their culture. We don't have anything like it.
It's a
here.
UK series.
You're in Canada, so it's like Rush.
Okay.
So it's like Rush.
Okay.
Except a TV show.
Hockey. It's like hockey, but a TV show.
What's so funny about being like it's a UK thing? At this point, we're like, we didn't do this.
There's loads of great British shows. Like Spooks is an incredible. If you ever want like a spy show,
no, dude, Disparu. British TV used to be the fucking standard to nerds. Like back in the even not too long ago, we're like, oh, British TV's better. British TV's just better.
You know what?
Because British actors
were a kid all the time.
We so well for dramas and for comedies, man. So many British comedy shows back in the day just dominating.
Are You Being Served was a show that I used to watch every night with my dad. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the best show.
Blackadder and Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers, dude. I just
Towers, Puzzling, Black Books, the IT
obviously Monty
Basil. Speaking of a Basil, but X-Ray Girl.
Oh, well, any of the Disney animated movies, which they did live action, there hasn't been. Well,
there's
Aladdin
one good
was
one.
probably the ish.
Go trigger Shad.
What's the good one,
really,
Shad?
come on, X-Ray Girl, you know the great one. Come on, do you
What's
know
the
one?
good? What is it,
Great
Shad?
one?
The great one?
Yeah, it is great.
Tell us, Twilight Boy, what's the great one?
Great one.
The Cinderella live action. It is actually really good. Have you not watched it? I will fight. I will die on this hill.
No, I'll take your word for it because I'm never going to watch it because I'm a straight white male.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play Morgan season
I will fight for
But
this.
Gary, it's about true love.
Did he just say the Cinderella live action? Is that what
He's up on that hill like Don Quixote, just like, I'll fight to my death on this hill.
No, seriously.
Nobody's fighting you.
Really? It's unironically a brilliant film. Go watch it.
I don't even get this emotional for Star Wars. This is crazy.
Have courage and be kind. Have courage and be kind.
Look at him, he's fucking pissed.
Oh my God,
Look at him. Shit.
No one
Holy shit.
Chad, we
Cinderella
have the same
live
taste in
action.
movies, so we should be fine. I'll watch
Actually,
it.
you mean just like the Disney as itself, its franchises have died?
Yeah, well,
Just
I
fucking
mean,
imagine if they bring out another adaptation of Cinderella and it's bad, Shad's gonna lose it.
I'm gonna write
Mulan
Disney.
was the worst.
I'm gonna write Disney's Cinderella right now. Cinderella is head to toe armor with 2 swords in each hand, and she saves the prince. Okay, so it's the prince who's late. Was that how that story goes? I don't fucking care.
She
Yeah.
crushes
That's the one with the pumpkin.
she
Glass.
crushes the
pumpkin in
And
the shoe, right?
She pegs him at the end.
Well,
Wait, are you
the boys.
talking
Don't need no man. The boys.
Wait, who
We got
likes
that.
Cinderella? The one that you're talking about?
Cinderella.
He's
with
talking
the
about
pumpkin in the shoe.
Cinderfella.
No.
No.
It's the not. Hang on. It's the Disney.
Because the last one was the
with,
singer that I remember. I'm
No,
like,
no,
but I
no,
didn't
no,
like
no,
that.
no.
Not the Amazon one.
Oh, the
right?
one with
No,
the
yeah.
camp fairy.
Okay,
Yeah, with the fairy fairy.
Billy Porter.
It's got the guy from Game of Thrones. He plays the prince in it, and Cinderella. She's from Downton Abbey. She was that actress. Look up that one, and genuinely, it actually has really good writing. One of the best scenes ever written that portrays love at first sight.
Shad, I support your passions.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Shad is sober.
I've got a video.
Just wanna point that out.
That makes it worse.
It is the morning
I've got
for
a video
him.
on Shadiversity doing an essay on Cinderella. Why it's so good.
By the way, someone needs to clip Disparu's reaction to Shad saying one of the greatest scenes of all time.
He paused. I was like, that's the end of the sentence. This is one of the best scenes of all time.
No, portraying love at first sight, they actually pulled it off because to do it genuinely with real like weight and feels authentic is very difficult to do, but they pulled it off. The interactions between the characters and the actors and how they respond to each line, brilliantly done. It was like one of the first ones Disney did as a live action remake before they just, I don't know, got corrupted and only wanted a cash grab, where they actually had people who understood the material, and it is better than the animation. The prince
They
actually
understand
has.
the complex narrative of
Yeah,
Cinderella.
it is. Dude, I've got a video essay on it, right? I like it. There is
Honestly, at this
narrative there.
point, Disney doing any of that is actually really good.
Those are all good answers. I did a top 5. I did well, except for Shad's.
Thank you, Gary. I thought you were gonna back me up there, Gary, and then you stabbed me in the back.
Hell no. Hey, lady, I'll stab you in the front. Lady Greymaster, I'll stab you right in the chest. Lady Greymaster's got your back on that one. So I did a video a couple years back, top 5 murdered franchises, and I don't think I need to change. Maybe Game of Thrones. It depends on House of Dragon.
Yeah,
pulls out. But yeah, like we discussed everything that was on the top 5. What we didn't mention was Star Trek, which was because nobody cares about. And that's where these head to apathy. Unfortunately, there's a Deadline article that is the biggest cope session for Doctor Who right now. It's like, was the gamble on Russell T Davies worth it? And the answer is no. This should be the shortest article of all time. No.
Yeah,
you
no.
lost. No. Fucking no. But they try to. They begrudgingly admit the ratings are not where they want them to be. We're not going to go over the article, but it's just a bunch of cope. And I think that article goes up because I think season 2 is already being filmed. It's been commissioned. We'll see it, but we ain't seeing anything after that. It's done. Doctor Who is going to get canceled again.
You know,
it's that 2-season thing, like Halo. Halo's canceled as well.
Halo got
They have the
canceled, by the way.
It's toast.
Honorable mention, but I would call this a sleeper destruction. Would be Ghostbusters.
Yes.
That feels like something that a lot of people haven't realized got destroyed. Like, I'm not talking about the 26. Everyone recognized that. I'm talking about Afterlife and Frozen Empire. Those two did way more damage than a lot of people realize. Ghostbusters is dead now as an IP.
Yes. I
didn't even watch the last one.
The last one's bad.
Shouldn't.
The last one's.
I mean,
really bad.
I hate Afterlife. I only seen
I know
it
you
recently.
did. I didn't hate Afterlife. I hated the last one. But it's dead. I'm not going to argue with you.
Dude, I couldn't stand what they did to Egon.
But that also shows 2006. Well, for one, they weren't great films. That was the biggest problem. What they did to Egon, upon further reflection, is like when people look at back on that in the future and go, "Oh, remember all the complaining about AI? That's exactly what they did. They brought back a dead actor, which they're going to do a lot in the very near future." But 2016 still, by the way, it made more than Afterlife. And it still has that repercussions. Like once you break something, it's really fucking hard to fix it. So that's what Marvel's facing. That's what Star Wars is going to face. You bought these giant IPs, Disney, paid billions of dollars for those built-in fan bases, and the first thing you did was went out of your way to piss them off.
They've killed a few franchises this particular way. Ghostbusters, Mad Max. I think Terminator counts as this. They plug way too much money into a film. It doesn't make the money back, and they're like, wow, no one cares about the IP. It's like, fucking hell, you idiots. Funnily enough, they seem to have overcome this problem for Predator. Lower budgets, lower scope, make the movie very isolated. And they may have figured this out for Alien. We'll see with Romulus. It's just like, yeah, the budgeting in Hollywood has exploded.
That director is decent, but yeah.
I like the director a lot.
Alvarez,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. This is the thing, is like some of these movies, they're just not huge franchises. They're just their one thing, like Predator, awesome, one movie. I like the second movie, but like the first movie is really where it's at. Same things like Terminator barely squeaked out a second one, and that turned out to be like one of the best action movies of all time. You should probably just stop there. You're not going to top it. You're not going to go further. It's only going to hurt things. A lot of these franchises that they just make into these massive budget movies, they're not franchises.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to Jurassic Park everything, which has managed to survive enormous budgets and with enormous box offices. We'll see how that goes too, because they've just been shit after shit after shit.
But you know what? I would take the
Your
crap.
mic is low.
Sound like you're in a bucket.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I was
He
screaming.
blew out his mic talking about Cinderella.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Yeah, I would take the crap that we got in the 90s because it's so much better than the crap we're getting now. Terminator 3, bad film.
Oh, fuck
still
yeah,
better
dude.
Still better than what we get.
Yeah, no,
Way better.
we could all watch Terminator 3 right now. We'd all have plenty of fun with it. It would be like, yeah, it's a bit cringe.
He's got the coffin full of guns and stuff, and he's shooting people. Yeah,
dude, one of my favorite payoffs in that movie is Dr. Silberman coming to talk to a victim of like trauma, seeing the Arnie and just running really slowly away with his old man run because he's terrified. It's like, I appreciate that. That's fun.
All right. My favorite genre is just action movies. I just want basic action movies.
Yes.
I want men blowing stuff up. That's what I want.
Yep.
And they're one of the cheapest things you could make a profit on. And they
That
don't.
would be cool. Yeah, I feel like we don't really get the old
Also,
a
action
renaissance
heroes
of
anymore.
that.
It's actually Mark at DM me to sort of remind it. The Russos produced the Extraction movies, which I think are pretty awesome.
Yes.
So that's like a recent achievement of theirs, somewhat.
Those are cool.
Didn't the second one just come out?
Yeah,
recently.
It was good.
Well, they have some impressive action in it.
Yeah.
Well, Cobra Kai. We got Cobra Kai now.
Cobra Kai. I like that first episode. I like the ending.
I still haven't. I didn't finish it.
I'm going to tell you what happened. No, I like the first episode. I can't wait. I'm going to watch the rest tonight. But hey, we have a couple people who need to go. Our guests. So, Star Wars Theory, thank you for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Man. I had a really great time, and I hope I'll see you again in another one.
I'll see you again in the near future. And
So
Mauler.
Theory.
Yes, sorry, I'd love to stay for longer. I've got a huge thing I got to set up. I am hopefully it'll nicely fun for tomorrow. It's a nightmare, but and I got Acolyte out on time as well with Friggy. It's been quite a week, but I'm glad.
Oh, your Acolyte video's out.
Well, not on my second channel, the EFAP TV one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, gentlemen, before you go, watch Cinderella the live action.
Oh shit!
Oh, God.
Theory, it was a pleasure meeting you.
It was nice meeting you. Shad, you're gonna do a breakdown for the fight, right? The new one.
There's not as much to break down in the fight in the last one. There is some goofy stuff, like the whole crashing tiger, hidden dragon cringe part.
Yeah.
The time when Sol decides to turn off his lightsaber and then do a triple kick and then turn it on, the retard. But outside of that, there
What
is
about
actually
Smilo turning his
better.
head like 5 minutes before a kick comes?
Oh, yeah, and
Go back and watch
when he's
that
trying
one,
to pull the lightsaber into the Cortosis helmet, and he could have just moved his head forward and not.
And May and Osha's fight, where they were just telegraphing every.
Just bad.
Outside of those moments, there's actually some really decent choreography in that last episode. It's like someone different did the work on it because there's some much tighter movements. They're aiming for each other. They're much closer in tempo. It was actually surprising. It's like, all right, someone else.
Well, wait, Then they cut from those to Osha and May, and just the difference between seeing those two fights back to back is crazy. They're like a third speed.
Yeah.
Shad, have you gone through it in slow mo yet?
No, I didn't need to see what the good.
Well,
because
there's a lot of like particularly the May and Osha. I know it's not swords, but their fight was particularly embarrassing. There was so many moves that weren't even close to connecting.
Oh, really?
Hard. Yeah.
And then there was one of the ones I really noticed was like he goes to lunge Smilo at Sol, and he's supposed to move out of the way and then grab it with his hand, but the sword was like fucking a meter away from his head to begin with. There's those little things like that I assume you'll pick up, but I wouldn't mind seeing a breakdown. I watched your breakdown of the episode 5 one. It was good shit.
Yeah, well, that one was atrocious. Like, holy crap. And everyone's saying it was the best lightsaber fight scene in all time. That triggered me. I was like,
that's
yes,
hot. They're high.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Big time.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll start there to the end. There we go. We're going to read
See you
some
next
soups
time,
now.
folks. See you, Dad.
See you, Mauler.
See you, Mauler.
All right. Not Another Dime is gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hail. And here's Roland the Wretched, who tweets at me, free Roland the Wretched. You're not blocked here, bro. And I'm sorry you got blocked by a dead guy who can't unblock you now because he's dead. Not my problem, bro. Kind of like you waxing your own balls. It's not my problem.
That's a you problem.
That's a you problem. Rolling the Wretched 4 parts for $100. Garrett asked, what was wrong with me 2 weeks ago? And I thought about it and I have an answer. FNQ. This is what is wrong with me. I used to be a normal person. Now I have strangers saying, you're the guy who waxed your balls. You created me. Own it.
You created yourself.
You created yourself. You waxed yourself.
You have done that yourself.
You have done that. Yeah, I was thinking.
Rolling the Wretched for this is continued, by the way. It seems D Gay Cobra and our gay outposts are enjoying their daily rectal exams at the RNC. Probably the most action Ryan has gotten since he was a seaman, and the most action Jeremy has got ever. Did you see the photo of Ryan with his new beard? Poor Riley Gaines. Oh, yeah, he took a picture with Riley Gaines. That's cool. Riley's cool. She seems cool.
Yeah, but she had to be next to that.
That's too bad. The emus are making their influence felt in politics by having Senator Babbitt call for the deportation of Tenacious D. Oh, Babbitt, that's right, of Tenacious D. You think an Australian politician came up with it on his own. Next, he is going to deport retards who cut down trees with swords. Hi, Shad.
Hey,
or really like Cinderella.
I was about to get offended, but retard coming out with
it's just weird to me because like their entire country was created because we were deporting them, and now they're deporting other people. It's like we're now multiple layers deep.
I can see that. I can see that. Funny thing is, right? The senator who did it, I think, is the leader of the United Australian Party, which is a much more conservative, right-leaning party. No senator from the major parties would, be that based, basically.
No, I didn't think so. I think they were all fine with it. They're like, what? Deport him for what? That's what we're all thinking. Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Hollywood was just saying the parts we knew what they really meant out loud, including Mark Hamill and Jack Black. We'll talk about that a little bit in the bonus hour. We also have Rachel Madcow popping off about Tolkien. We're going to talk about that too. Rolling the Wretched is the final one, the last part. Today's read, Proverbs 29:2. When the emus increase, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. Hail FNQ, Fellowship, Chat, Mods, Baby Thor, and Pizza Time Hawaiian Pizza. Baby Thor is like 16 now. Tag as Arizona. I keep seeing this name as. I don't know what it is. With hashtag free rolling the wretched. Until next time, so long, gay boys. Yeah, tag.
Have you seen this picture that Amazon's put out about Rings of Power?
No, let's see it.
It's I'll link it. I can't believe they've given her a hammer, and we are literally going to get Deezer.
No.
The warrior.
Oh. No. Warrior Deezer.
Oh God.
Oh no.
That makes me laugh.
Oh my God.
Oh my
this
God.
kingdom is ours.
That's epic.
This is going to be worse than season 1.
Yours and mine.
This is going to be worse because they're going to try to undo some of the stuff from season 1. They're trying to make Guy Ladriel more human in this, which is going to be fucking cringe. Oh my God.
I'm so excited. Bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We got
I
a
love
little
how
over
he's
a month.
sort of angry, and her face is sort of like, "What am I doing here?"
First black female dwarf
To ever truly be seen cinematically.
Grimnack for 50. The episode I've been waiting for all year. I was a fan of Theory when I was in high school, became a fan of Mauler after my divorce, found Gary when I got with my fiance. Hey, see, you found me during the happy parts. There you go. And started FNT when I had a 2-year-old. Love you all and hail. How long have we been doing this? Thank you. DJ, and congrats on the fiance and all that stuff. Sorry about the divorce, but as I like to say, you always got to get that first one out of the way. DJ for $100. Hail! Can't help but feel that this is a bit karmic justice for Theory. Poor guy. What, coming here? I know that's. We actually think about that, right? When we invite guests on, I mean, we have a very tight run ship, as you know here. Okay. This is the tightest run ship on YouTube. There is no better organization than here with Friday Night Tights. So
highly organized.
But we do put some thought, and we're like, we'd like to have this guest on, but we don't want to get this guest in trouble with the audience.
Us?
I know. I don't think. I think it's fine, and I think we're really cool. But not everybody does. Surprisingly so. It's weird. It's weird.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Master Austin has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100, and you will see a Clarkson's Farm watch party in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be doing watch parties for every episode of The Rings of Power, Season 2. But not Agatha.
That's going to be a joy.
Not fucking Agatha. No way. Noons for $184.99 United Arab Emirate pesos. Here's a little compensation to say thanks for watching The Acolyte so we didn't have to. Hail FNT. Oh, well, thank you. It was actually, I got enjoyment out of it. I was laughing pretty hard last episode.
Episode 6. Like, the only thing that got me like episode 6 is when I was watching Robin Hood and a random bunny rabbit appeared with a taser where I just died. And it was the same thing when it's like, it feels good to feel one in your hands. I had to walk out the room.
Yeah, that's up there with The Power of Many. When they were singing that song unironically and they took it very seriously, and then they brought out the composer and talked about how he crafted that song. I was just like, holy shit, this is the most memeable show of the year. I just out of nowhere. What the fuck was that? Andrew CR.
They did explain it. It was meant to be for different cultures around our world, and they were representing them all in space for some reason.
In Star Wars.
In Star Wars. Andre CR on the Streamlab side for 69 for 69.
Nice.
All the good old days. How is old Jack Murphy doing?
Ooh. I think he turned like into a super Christian, didn't he? And started setting up a new thing.
Probably.
Did he?
Who knows?
Yeah, I remember he came back.
There's
at one
only
point.
two paths: super Christian or super gay. From that position he was in.
Sometimes it's both.
Hale, I wanted to thank you for your past, present, and future suffering watching the Wankolite. Rings of Power Season 2 and the upcoming shit shows, so we don't have to. If I could send more money, I would. Anything is fine, and you could just watch. It's cool. Thank you. And before you say anything, shut the fuck up and take my money. I did it. I said something already. Hale, I thought it says Hale IDOT. I almost said Hale idiot.
I think it actually he means that, but it can't be 100%.
I'm not going to ask you to interpret the chats. So I'm going to say, Hail, idiot, 199. Gatekeeper, what's up? 6 parts for $150. I was born in 1978. OT fan. Saw my first Star Wars movie when I was 7. Favorite Star Wars characters were Darth Vader and Count Dooku. I accepted the prequels, even decided to accept Rogue One. The sequels killed Star Wars for me, especially The Last Jedi. Still, however, held fond memories of the OT. The Acolyte has now destroyed the memory of the OT for me. I'm not sure if I can even watch the OT anymore at this point. Well, I'm sure Mark Hamill's done his part with that too. I wish I felt different, but I just don't care about Star Wars anymore at this point. I don't recognize the face of what I once loved. It was cool to see Theory with so many of who I respect along with my favorite YouTuber. Saw you guys on Open Bar yesterday. I've already joined your channel. Recently, Theory. So far, I've joined Disparu, Ryan, Film Threat, Theory, Badger, and Odin. That's awesome. Mauler. Oh wait, there's more. Mauler, Drinker, although not in that order. And of course, it was first Nerdrotic. I love to be your first. See, I got you. You never forget your first. I will.
You usually move on.
Next time, I catch live streams of Quarter Black as who's as.
He means Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
I stream by myself. Just
And
me and X-Ray Girl.
And
Kara.
Yeah, Kara.
It's not by yourself.
Well, I stream by myself and X-Ray and Kara.
Okay. And Shadiversity. Plan joining the other channels too. Hail to the chat. Shout out to Disparu. Hail to you, brother. And as well. Chrissy, start 4 different sentences before finishing one. Or I'm sorry, did I say Chrissy? That's me having a stroke. Chris, start 4 different sentences before finishing one gore. He does that. That's so great. And Alan, let's get this started. I wish you all continued success and good health. This is all. This also extends to the chat. Hail chat, by the way. There's more. I tried, Gary. I really did. The fanboy in me just won't allow me to not state how much I respect and appreciate you, man. Thank you. Love the content you provide. I'd never have met the fellowship. I'd never have met the fellowship if not for you. The fellowship is awesome. I love you, man. Hail, my favorite effing YouTuber. Thank you. Thank you. Hail to the fellowship. We got a meetup coming up next week, next Wednesday in San Diego, Wales, Vagina. Slade Lawton for 50. I haven't seen a single Disney Star Wars product since The Last Jedi trailer. 16-year-old me thought it sucked. Never saw The Last Jedi due to playing in a hockey tournament. Well, you're better off. Oh, Gary, I would rather fight Morgoth without elvish weapons than eat pineapple pizza. Well, I would fight and defeat Morgoth with no weapons and get to that pineapple pizza that's right behind him. Okay. I would. Carlos,
why does he have the pineapple on pizza?
Because
it's evil.
No.
Because it's evil.
Because it's a perversion of everything.
It's a corruption.
He stole something precious. No, he stole it and it was precious.
Created literally by the
Precious?
song of creation.
Yes.
And he created orcs to try to get them to make pineapple pizza, and they couldn't because it's so beautiful. But it's so wonderful.
That
Sounds
sounds like the
Amazon
corrupted, the
made this.
corrupting words of Sauron right there. That's,
No.
Yeah,
no.
the deceiver.
Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. You're all fired. Carlos Lima for $100. What's up, Carlos? Does this mean that Riva is a descendant of Osha and May? Maybe.
I hope so.
Did anyone else get flashbacks of Finn yelling for Rey when Sol was yelling for May? Hail to the panel. I love you guys, and I got my Annie theory saber. Oh, cool. And I love it. Anakin. That's what I got it. May the Force be with you, Star Wars Theory. He's out there. He's still listening. May the Force be with you, Star Wars Theory. You're going to need it. Script for 50. What's up, Script? Hey, all. I have a bit of a personal question. Well, I'm sure Garrett will be happy to answer it. I want to make a video on why I feel that current Star Wars is so disjointed from what was, but it feels like there's already plenty of others doing that. Should I chime in? Hail FNT and hail chat. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing with YouTube, Twitch has a bit of a different culture because if you're watching one live stream, you are competing with everybody else because you can't watch multiple people simultaneously. YouTube doesn't have that. When I do my reviews, I go and watch everyone else's because I want to see what other people have to say. And so there's never really a point where like a topic is saturated or whatever. People just go to the styles they prefer about the topic. So there's always
and nobody's making your video. Nobody's you. So you can make a video from your perspective, from your knowledge, and it's different from everybody else's. So absolutely go do it.
Yeah, and if you're just starting out, then you're still figuring out like you anyway as a content creator. And again, this is a great hobby. I wouldn't recommend it as a job until you've done it for a long time and you've seen some continued success. Don't do what I did. I got completely fucking lucky with a very bad decision. But you know what? I also had this thing called a skill to fall back on. So I can go get a job wherever, and I saw an opportunity. So you also have to recognize opportunities and go for it if you can financially do so. But just do it. Compete against yourself. That's the best advice I've ever heard on YouTube. And surprisingly enough, I heard it from Jeremy from the Quartering. Compete against yourself. There you go. It took him 15 minutes to say it, but that's why.
Our boss.
Our boss.
But you're absolutely right. You need to start it basically as a hobby, and don't bet everything on it succeeding, because if you do it just to be a career, just for it to be a career, you're going to burn out. You need to find the joy in it somewhere, and that's why you can start as a hobby, because you should be enjoying it. And then if you're actually doing it because you're enjoying it, that'll get you through the burnout, the drudge. There is a component of being on a treadmill with this stuff, because you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And so if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to keep it up.
But here's once you get kind of going, right? You can take vacations. You can take time off. You can take a week off. You can take a couple of weeks off, and you might have to like get back into the algorithm again, but that's just work. That's at normal work. Every time I was at my regular day job in parts, I would have the week prior to my vacation, I would have to do 3 weeks worth of work. So I'm fucking just burnt by the time I get to my vacation. So it's not any different than that, but you can take breaks. I think there's some out there who say you can't. I say you can, and you should. You absolutely should. Because there is a burnout, especially.
But I think
Gary.
With me, my videos I'd do it anyway. Like I was already reading a load of stuff. I was watching the bad television, and I was taking the piss as I was watching it. And so then you just turn on the camera and edit it together. And I think you make videos that you'd watch. So I watch everything at 2 times speed, and so I started editing everything really quickly and cutting out all the pauses, because that's what I'd prefer if I was watching something. Yep. And so you kind of end up with a style from that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And what Disparu just said, I will echo. This is shit I did. I woke up every morning and I read a bunch of trades and comic book websites and watched a bunch of fucking videos. And before there was videos, I would call friends. This is shit I've done like my entire life. So I talk about
exactly
it anyway.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, my videos on Shadowversity basically were just me ranting about swords that I would do to people anyway, and they'd be thinking, "Who is this weirdo?"
Now you can do millions of people.
Then I filmed it and found other people that love swords and appreciate those rants, and get a
Hey. Mike for $49.99. Filoni, Hedlund, and Kennedy all have the same jawline, and I can't unsee it now. Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Mike. Damn it. Jorgen Jorgensen for 50 Canadian pesos. You don't sound Canadian with that name. You can't convince me that the $180 million budget wasn't hush money for the skeletons Leslie knows about. It definitely didn't go into production, and the writing of this piece of shit could have been done better by a 16-year-old Twilight fan. I will agree with you. Or Shad, same thing.
Twilight fan would have done better.
Yes.
Would have done much better.
Michael Duniev for 50. Shad and
Tyrant, my co-host on Shadowverse.
Praised the fight between Smilo and Soul, but didn't mention this. When they are in the bind and Smilo is pulling the lightsabers towards his helmet, if he instead just turns his wrist, he takes Soul's head off. Thoughts? Hail FNT and 199.
Yeah. There are issues. There are issues with that. And if his intent was to just turn off, he could have just moved his head forward. And so you're right. Upon further reflection, there are massive issues with that part. Yep. I just watched it. Okay, we do our reviews right after. Sometimes you need a,
Yeah, you got to see him a second time. There's a couple things I missed during my watch party because I was just babbling over it.
Yeah.
Manchurian candidate for 50 euros. I'm sorry, British pounds, proper money. By the way, hail Leeds. Leeds was on fire yesterday, so well done.
Oh, in an official no-go zone as well.
Yes.
It was actually raised on a list of no-go zones, and then they were like, no, they don't exist in the UK. Well, now the police have run away from the area, so what do you call it now?
The police ran away.
Wait, it was literally on fire because of...
Literally on fire, yeah.
Something went on in some other country. Some people got upset and burned their own shit down.
Okay.
Wow. Sound familiar?
Except they wouldn't have done it if they got more money.
Call the Sunday show Chasing the Dragon after Gary's previous exploits. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe
because it's chasing the show. It's right after the show.
Yeah.
It's like a chaser. Chasing. Ooh,
okay, that's what we'll call the podcast. We'll call it Chasing the Dragon. There you go. That's the name. That's the name.
It's a good name.
Crack on, lads. Thank you. See, the chat comes up with the best name. Eric Sheedlow for $50 says, Hi, Jerry. Hi, Jerry and fellow boats. Son of Tardo see bad stuff. Was sad, but he say, itchy and scratchy, fight. Feel better. Son of Tardo, no member writing Acolyte, like Son of Tardo Nightmare. Good enough for Disney. Hail, Cat, and 199. Lock it in. Yay.
Who had sex with Tardo? To make fun of Tardo? That's my question.
Yeah. No, he was created by the retard.
By the thread.
Yes.
The thing is, I have to really concentrate on those chats to understand them. Like, it's twice as hard.
There was a virgins in the retard.
It's a virgin.
Black Cloud for $49.99. Question for the panel that knows how Hot D ends. Do you guys think that George Martin would have written the ending differently if he knew it would become so popular? I feel the audience might be disappointed with how it ends. Without spoiling.
Yeah, Gary, I'm watching you, man. Don't you dare.
That is absolutely the toughest thing to guess about the show, because without telling you what the ending is, it's written by like a history book. So it ends like a history book. The series of events goes directly into the next series of events that goes directly into the next. So there's no like the end. It just kind of meanders.
That's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting everyone to die. And that might be an accurate enough thing. And then someone will be left over to take the throne. There we go. And that's just my prediction. I don't know how.
You think they're going to lead directly into Game of Thrones?
There's another Targaryen king, so somebody does take over the throne. There's another then we get Aegon the Fifth, and there's more kings to come. Yes, I'm looking forward to the Hedge Knight, man. I wish they would have just called it that. It's Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, but Yeah, Dunkin' Egg is good shit.
Man, Hedge Knight is my jam. And really, like, I got into Hedge Knight before I even watched Game of Thrones. That was actually my introduction to the universe. And kind of threw me because I was thinking, hey, so this George guy, he writes heroic characters that are noble and the good guys win. It's like, no, Hedge Knight is the exception to the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
like,
it's very traditional.
I love it. And I love it for that. That's my favorite.
Fear the Tardo for 50. Tardo! Following his son. Hi, Star Wars weary. Not know if heard, but Tardo tried to write writer for Star Wars. Apple Life. Lesbian Headlamp has said no because Tardo said Deadeye Master Tubin do nothing wrong and no should make self go night-night. No wake up. Lock it in, yay. Just like Tardo's parents. That's cool. Comics Division's ball sack for $100. The only thing... Shouldn't you be talking to your crotch? Are they detached?
Down here.
Are they detached on a...
No, I'm not going to make that joke. Never mind.
He mustn't be very happy. No, seriously. His family is nuts and his neighbor's an asshole. So, you know.
That was a great joke.
That was a good dad joke.
I know.
No, it's actually in Chad's book.
It's in my book.
The only thing hanging lower to the ground than me is the Acolyte's ratings. Oh! Also, the rumors that I am as bald as Roland the Wretcheds are 100% true. Really? Comics? Want to explain yourself?
Man. Ask my ball sack.
It's hot as hell in here. Texas and you have to keep cool somehow. Thank you, Comics Division's ball sack. Alan Foley has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hail. Buns for $20 says, hail Mauler and Theory on FNT. I love this. It was great. It was great having them both on. I want to bring those kids on together again sometime if we ever talk about Star Wars again. Jonah Der Jagger for $20. Johan De Jager. Mick Jagger, whatever. Johan De Jager for $20. Did anyone else think Trump's failed assassination looked like Disparu with Down syndrome? Oh, Trump's failed assassin. I thought it was Disparu. I actually thought it was Disparu. So I'm like, shit, I got to look for another host now. God. No. Yeah, that's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
Good old Mark Hamill. What a piece of shit.
Oh.
He has now done as much damage to Star Wars than Kathleen Kennedy, without a doubt.
He's a fucking
truly
retard.
Jake Skywalker.
Yeah, he really is. He's a fucking retard.
John Getz for 2 parts for $10. If you guys or chat is near a city with a symphony, check out if they have any screenings of the movies where they play the score live. I've seen many of those. I just got tickets for Fellowship for next year's show. Like that. And I can tell you from seeing Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, it's an awesome way to see some classics. Yeah. San Diego Symphony used to do that a lot. I used to go. Lance Corporal Waffles for $1.99 says, wait, Disparu and Mauler aren't the same person? No, surprisingly not. But Mauler's not a person. Yeah, he's fucking Welsh.
Yeah.
That doesn't make, he's not human. He's Welsh.
Yeah. Mauler is an extra dimensional entity, if you guys don't know.
And he's Welsh.
Yeah, and his
That's far worse.
The mask is only there to contain his, shadow vaporous form.
Yep.
So.
Zach Muffin for $20. Star Wars Theory, the OG. I gobbled up all your content. I'm glad you said content there. Before the dark times, before the Empire. Man, I loved as a father was always my Obi-Wan, and I can't watch HFPs.
I didn't know what that was.
Oh, HFP's Kenobi video without bawling. Okay, I don't know who HFP is, sorry, but the chat will know. R.I.P. Mr. T. Mr. T, 1947, 2012. Hail. Not the Mr. T. Okay, he's still around.
Okay,
different.
I was
one.
confused there for a second.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Mr. T's still around.
We lost Bob Newhart yesterday, which was he was old.
R.I.P.
That sucks.
One of the greatest comedians to ever live. One of the best. He delivered the best, driest lines ever. There will never be another like him. And
now he's up there hanging out with our friend Az.
Yes. Sean Davidson for 20. Appreciate all of you pointing out this garbage ass show. Star Wars Theory. What do you have to say about Plagueis appearing? He was not happy. He was not happy.
His reaction to it was gold. Did you see his live reaction?
Chrissy's back.
Oh, hey, Chrissy.
Hey.
Hi, Chrissy.
Whoa.
Good to have you.
I had to go be with the baby for because I was by myself with the baby for a while. What did I miss?
Oh, the entire show, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Chrissy looks more like an Olsen twin than lesbian headlamp, says Tiki the Mighty for $5. Ben, how do you pronounce that?
Over.
Mangerer.
There you go. For $10. A warning to you all who would say otherwise. DEI isn't going anywhere. It's going to be implemented through Bridge. Many who have reported on DEI have not caught on to this, and it's worrying me greatly. Don't worry. None of us have said DEI is dying. DEI is going to rebrand and try to come back, but it is financially dying. We are seeing companies get rid of the DEI departments, but that doesn't mean this activism. What you mean is the activism isn't going away. No, never.
No,
it's never going away. And we have to accept that. There's always going to be that element there. There's always going to be a certain amount of commies and fucking retards. We're just going to have to accept that. What you do is minimize their power, and you do that not by getting angry, laugh.
Exactly. Mockery is is our best weapon and tool at this point. And Larry Fink, who has been pushing the stuff from BlackRock, has basically admitted that the normies have caught on and they're basically rebranding it. So you're right, it's not going away.
And the McKinsey research that backed the recent DEI push, and I mean recent, last 10 years, it turns out it's all bullshit. And now, now that's being exposed. So there is a turn. The turn is happening, but it's not going to be, and I don't think it'll ever be, an out-and-out victory. What we want is balance. We want to move on. We want this still to be a country. We want to be free. We don't want to be told what to do. We don't want to be told, and we want to mostly be left the fuck alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. I'll be fine. I don't need the government's help. That's what I'm for.
The issue they'll have, though, is if they change the language, people will just change to calling it that.
Yes.
So, like, woke happen that way. And you've seen it with sort of mental health kind of stuff. You had idiot, then you had moron, then you had retard. Every time they came up with a new thing, it just became a new insult. And so you'll find the same thing with Bridge.
Yes. Yes. So Bridge, it's not going anywhere. No, it's just going to lose for a while. Hikira for $5. It's funny how Theory ended up here, all from Mauler chatting with him one day when Theory never heard of him before. Well, YouTube's a big place. All right. So I'll never assume. I walk around in public completely anonymous, and I like it. I'm fine. Yeah. I don't have people. I got 1 million subs on YouTube. So what? I mean, it's an awesome accomplishment, but I can't let that go to my head, because that would be very dangerous for my recovery. I let something go to my head before, and I'm proud of it. But I also understand this is a big fucking ocean. This is a big fucking ocean here on YouTube. And there's what's the one? The guy who the assassin was wearing a shirt of somebody, right?
Oh, Demolition Ranch.
I had never ever heard of that channel. It has 11 million subs.
Demolition Ranch?
Nope.
Demolition Ranch is awesome.
It's in Texas, dude.
I don't watch Gun Tube.
That happens all the time.
It's awesome, and it's rad, and everybody's heard of him except for me.
Political rally you showed up to, that guy's connected to Demolition Ranch.
I'm surprised he wasn't at that rally.
Yeah.
But I'm super grateful. This is the best gig in the world. But it's perspective's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. And I go to the grocery store and shop. Nobody bugs me. It's great. But if they do, it's fine too. You can come up and say hi.
The only time I've not seen that is when we were in London, and we were literally just like standing outside of a store, and multiple people stopped and noticed. That was a strange experience. Yeah, it was great. But it doesn't normally happen.
It doesn't. Like, Jeremy was at an In-N-Out in the middle of Texas. He got recognized. I got recognized at a Chick-fil-A somewhere, and that's really.
It's all the fast food places.
Have you gotten the bathroom recognized yet?
No.
Somebody's like, "Hey, are you that guy on the?"
That happens.
So at the Paper Tiger, I'm at the urinal, and this guy comes right for one. There's urinal rules. They're
Yes.
unwritten,
There are.
but they're written,
There are.
and you're supposed to like take a space, go to the corner one, keep
far
your eyes
away.
forward or down or up, but not sideways.
Don't talk. No
Don't
talking.
fucking talk. But
Leave the
I mean,
money on the urinal.
yeah. So a guy gets
They're
right
trying to
out,
shake your hand. You're like,
yeah,
hang on.
right
Don't
next to
look through
me,
the glory hole.
mid piss. He's all, "What's up?" Yeah, and I said,
Oh
"Hi."
no!
So how about that Disney Star Wars? Huh?
It's all
What's
good.
weird is when you go to a
And I turned
an
around like this and said, "Not much."
I appreciate it anytime somebody comes up and says, "Hey."
What's weird is
yeah,
when you go
it's
to an
awesome.
environment where
Even then,
sorry, yeah. What's weird is when you go to an environment where there's like a lot of people who's more likely to know. Because you're right, no one recognizes me. But if I go to a medieval festival, holy
Yeah,
crap!
if we go to cons and
Oh,
stuff, that's our
yeah.
people, right? But
Yeah.
in general public, it's business as usual. But
Yeah.
again,
Gary,
if
the
you
last
want
time
to
we
come
went
up,
to Reverend Horton Heat, some dude that worked at the venue was wearing a Nerdrotic
yeah, I
hat.
saw a Nerdrotic hat in the wild. That was weird.
Yeah.
That was definitely weird and surreal. But and,
Nice.
like, come up and say hi if you want to. Like, that's totally cool. I'm fine with it.
Has someone ever asked for an autograph at the urinal? You could just be like, I don't have a Sharpie, but
I can mark my territory.
yeah, I'll initial it.
Trevor for $10. Been watching for 5 years. Wow, thank you. You give some applause for that. Love everyone here. When will you have Kirsch and Ark on from Arccast? That's got to happen because Ark is awesome. And is it Kirsch or Kirsha?
Kirsha. I believe.
Yeah. Once I figure out how to pronounce her damn name because I'm retarded. No, we'll have her on too because she's really good. She's really good. Hail the Fellowship. P.S. Am I the only one who thinks Thomas Crook looks like a Downsy Disparu? No, apparently you're not.
No, that was inevitable, right? At some point, there was going to be somebody on the left that did something who looked like a fetal alcohol syndrome inbred version of me. I look like loads of homeless people. I look like loads of homeless degenerates.
Oh.
At some point, one of them was going to do something stupid. There'll be more.
Simon Ho for 10 Canadian pesos. Acolyte is Hedlund, former apprentice to Darth Weinstein, portrayed as twins. Her duality between evil and slightly less evil. Her struggle between lesbianism and seduced by the dark side heterosexuality. That's a good description of the show. That should go on the DVD, Blu-ray. Stay at home hippo for $5. Hail FNT, and a big welcome to Star Wars Theory. Keep kicking ass. EU Plagueis would use OSHA's hair to mop the floors and May as a replacement. I actually thought that was going to happen for like a nanosecond. I'm like, well, I thought he was going to come back. By introducing him, I thought he was going to come back and either retrieve somebody or kill everybody. And I was astonished when that didn't happen. And we ended the show with a series of meetings. Tricky for $10. It's okay, Gary. We still love you, even though you've sold out doing the retarded version of Ben Shapiro ad reads. Got to pay them bills somehow. Better than QBG on a poll. Well, I mean, he kept saying no.
I can bring that dollars in, though.
Yeah.
I can bring them dollars in. It's in my back pocket. That's that extra job Gary was talking about. Always have
Zorbu.
Always have a skill. Always have a skill.
Yeah, like, well, I'll never do ads in my videos ever. But I've never been against them for live streams. Like, we just haven't had. We tried a couple of times and our ads got rejected, and then we were able to do something where I'm allowed to riff a little bit and try to make it funny. Although I could probably just try to read it, and that would be funny enough. But yeah, Bo to go. But they'll never
Tagonist.
Tagonist. Oh, Botagonist, like antagonist. There you go. For $19.99, Bojagonson. Who really wants to see a second season of that sabotaging fart smelling badger? Disparu and I.
Oh, absolutely.
Linzers.
I'm looking forward to all of them.
Yes, it'll be 2 years, but we'll find out in a couple months. If we don't hear by the end of the year, it's not getting a season 2. Linzers for $10. Theory: my 8-year-old son is a huge fan of Star Wars and of yours, and has just started on novels. That's awesome. Good dad. Which are your favorite? His birthday is coming up. As a normie mom, I could use some direction. Thank you. Well, what has he read? Because you start at the beginning. Because my son now all of a sudden wants to read the EU, right? So he asked me where to start, and I said with you could go to the Heir to the Empire. I mean, there's the Han Solo adventures that I read, and
Those are great too.
Those are great, but start with Heir to the Empire. That's where you go. For comics, Dark Empire is really fucking good.
Fucking great.
Fucking love it. And there's full audio, fully cast audio for that. If that's out there,
and it's
too.
good,
and it's really good.
The only ones I've read were the Darth Bane trilogy, but they're really good because I wanted to know how you went from the Old Republic to the new trilogy, and that was like where everything changed.
Oz's laugh is great. Glad Shad is still here because that laugh and swords. Oh, you mean Az? Who's Az? Judah, thank you for $5. Grand Dark Fang for $20. Vanestra, Jedi Master Nepo, should have taken a page out of Amanda's book and written a diss track about Soul. To paraphrase the great scholar Kendrick Lamar, certified Jedi Master, certified pedophile. There you go. Richard Throbbin for $10. Finally got Star Wars Theory on. Been watching him for a long time. Anyway, y'all are great. Have a great Friday. I'll be listening while building a chicken coop. Well, that's awesome. Anyway,
nice.
Stay horny, everyone. There you go. Stay horny. Jason Yankovic for $2 says, end quote, repeat last line. Gary. Fade in. Fade in. Wolfbane for $20. Hi, guys. Have any of you heard about the Korriban Society? The Korriban Society. They are a new group with a YouTube channel discussing philosophical, literary, and cultural real-world topics through fun Star Wars, Godzilla, and Lovecraftian lenses. That sounds cool. We've never got a proper Call of Cthulhu movie. You know that?
Oh, dude, that would be
the thing we have is In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness, yep.
Honestly, that's like a really difficult topic to adapt. Like something that's so unfathomably horrible that it breaks your mind.
Robert Eggers could do
on
it.
Screen.
I don't know, man.
Eggers could do it. Eggers could do it.
Event Horizon was like getting close to kind of the idea.
It really takes a competent writer to do it.
And restraint. I think there's restraint.
And lots of restraint.
That applies with competent though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of your stuff off screen.
Yes.
And plus the way it's written. It's so early 1900s like pulp, which I fucking love. But yeah, maybe someday. Mona Drew for $3. Hail the Fellowship. Love you, Theory. Looking forward to my next saber. All right. He's doing well with that. Are they girthy, though? Are his sabers girthy?
They look pretty girthy.
6 turning 4 birding for $2. Biden is greater than Nerdrotic reading teleprompters. That's true. That's true. The Great Purple Hat for $10. I watched Acolyte with a friend who felt good about Disney Star Wars to break his mind and his spirit. Well, that's a...
Get over here, Johnny. We're going to watch this show.
Oh, hang on. There's something there. All right.
That's evil.
Torture. Yeah, this could
broke
be
him.
used as legitimate torture.
He didn't break him because he's still an uncurable optimist. But on the bright side, scratch one Disney Plus account. Hail FNT. Hail. Yeah. There's so many other ways to watch that show. Jen Anderson's of the Tari for 20 Swedish krona. Might bring you some heat, Theory. Oh, yeah. We were all right today. Churchill's Liver for $4.99. Is Ryan cosplaying as an ex-librarian of Shawshank? Yes, that was a good guess. Drake Timbershaft for $10. All hail Disney Star Wars. Oh, wait, sorry, not all hail. All Disney Star Wars should have the hashtag SWINO, Star Wars and name only. Just call it Disney Star Wars because it pisses them off. It really pisses them off.
Yep, Disney Star Wars is not real Star Wars.
That's why I've been doing it. There's Disney Marvel, there's Disney Star Wars. Marvel is dead, Star Wars is dead.
Now there's Disney Doctor Who.
Now there's Disney Doctor Who. Ryan McF for 5 British pounds, proper money. Theory, the shills and media are about to go nuclear on you after this appearance. Hail FNT and Theory. Hail Theory, by the way. Thank you. Bring it on!
You're not so bad. This was a tame episode.
Just seriously. Question for Shad. Thoughts on Damon's sword grip as he explores Harrenhal? Is that an actual grip style for quick parrying or SMT? Asked Sam Wallace Art for $5.
I would need to double check on a rewatch because I wasn't paying attention to sword grip. It's shocking. The show is so engrossing that I was focused on the story and the implications of what that was happening to Damon's character. But yeah, I'll pay attention to the sword grips. I love his sword though. Dark Sister, that's the one.
Yeah,
Man.
Dark Sister's awesome.
Awesome.
Blackfire's awesome.
Blackfire is awesome, which I have a kind of replica of, which is cool.
Yeah, it sucks they didn't make them. Maybe they'll change their mind. Maybe they'll get a new license.
It's so cool. I've like one of the few ones in the entire world.
Is Valerian Steel still out there? They were making pretty decent. They made ice, and it's pretty cool. And I've got Longclaw, and that's very cool. So, yeah, Valerian Steel is still out there. Maybe they'll do it. Sam Wallace Art for $10. Friendly reminder that any negative mention of the country that ends with an A and begins with a China is an automatic shadow ban courtesy of our nation's internet policies. Well, I know if you discussed anything about the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, you were getting demonetized, at least on my end, which we usually don't, by the way.
That happened to me, but I fought it and it was overturned.
Mine was not, but oh well. Zagathor for $20. First time chatting with you guys live. Love seeing Star Wars Theory on FNT. Screw Disney. Gonna stick to the real Star Wars. Currently on book 2 of the Thrawn trilogy. Oh, and Shad, loved reading your book. Looking forward to more. Hail.
Hell yeah. Cheers, man.
Darth Vader's burnt asshole for $4.99. Ryan, can you educate your boy on how there was conflict where Jedi died in the 1,000 years between the fall of the Sith and the Phantom Menace? They talked about it. They did.
Yeah, he did.
Hit Monkey Season 2. I heard it was out. Only thing Marvel hasn't destroyed, eco-commies were the villains, and there was a nice rallying cry of let's use our guns to save the world. Hit Monkey's a good comic. You know what? I didn't see Season 1. Maybe I'll go back and watch it.
I've never heard of this.
IMDb.
Hit Monkey.
Hit Monkey was it's from the comics. There you go. It's Marvel for $10. It's a good comic. Desert Viper for $5. Shop Theory Sabers, RIP Star Wars. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Asian guys don't eat beaver. That's why X-Ray Girl married a white guy. We'll eat it simply because it's there.
Is that true, X-Ray Girl? I don't know. I've never dated an Asian guy, so.
Oh,
wow. Racist from
self-loathing Asian. There we go.
X-Ray Girl. Let's stop Asian hate.
Arcade Heroes for $10. Hail FNT crew and chat. I just begun working for an arcade game dev who is developing physical comics for their games. Oh, that's cool. I'll be writing them and setting up with distros to sell. To advice on the best approach as far as making comic books and getting them out there to sell. It depends on what they're attached to. Have them ready to go. That would be it. Do the best you can. I'm not the guy. I can sell them in a shop. But as far as publishing, I would, I don't know, listen to that guy, Eric July. He seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, marketing is the challenge for self-publishing.
Yeah.
All the other kind of barriers to entry are removed, apart from actually being able to make something, but distribution globally is handled, which is insane, by the way. The fact that you can self-publish thing and get global distribution at the drop of a hat, that is amazing. But then, the challenge will be the marketing, getting people to even hear of it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have an answer for that. I don't know.
Well, my answer was to make a YouTube channel. Literally, that's one of the reasons I started doing YouTube, was to have a platform to launch my book off of. And I would have been happy with just even a couple of thousand subscribers. That's far more than a lot of, traditionally published authors get that only sell like a couple of hundred books. And so whatever audience you can build, gives you a leg up. and it just so happened that YouTube took off for me. I was like, holy crap, there you go.
Yeah, if you could do like a little.
Well, social media is the key.
You could do it artisanal. Like you could be a small business. So you don't have to like go through a bunch of gatekeepers now, but you're not going to sell millions of dollars worth of books. But you could, if you get out there and you do the work, you can get like 10,000 people, watching you, and then a couple thousand people buy your book, or a few hundred, and that keeps you going. And it's a good hobby. I don't know about business plan though. I'm not the person to ask for that. But
well, this is the thing that people don't realize: the average amount of novels sold over their lifetime, and this is because everyone just looks at the blockbusters, the biggest authors in the world. No, if you just have a look at like across the board, 10,000 books is about the average for a book over their entire lifetime. All right, and so if you sell like even 1,000, right, that's freaking amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
If
you sell something, it's amazing. It's a good start. Vile Sippo for €10 says, lesbian headlamp was told to make a cis show, but she heard make a shit show. Job done. When will we get past the moral ambiguity era? I think we're moving past that. I don't know if Hollywood will be able to move past that, but I think audiences are moving past that for sure. Hail FNT Theory and Mauler. Anyway, so long, gay boys. So long. Tom Elliott for $4.99. Gary, ever read Board of the Rings by National Lampoon? I have not only read it multiple times, I own it. Max Musterman for €10. Hey, guys. Love your show and today's panel, except Ryan, because gay. Exactly. Mauler, I'm really looking forward to your next EFAP about Boogie. That's going to be a good one. That's why he had to leave early. He's doing, how many clips did he say he had?
Like 500.
Yeah.
It's
hundreds of slips.
500.
Wow. I can't wait.
I'll see you Monday when that stream ends. It's the only joy I have left in my life. Oh, no.
Oh,
not true.
No. That's a meme of the first stream they did on Boogie, and because it would come up. So
The
they
Boogie
reacted
quote.
to Boogie's.
I got you.
On him, and he would always say like, "This is the last thing that gives me joy in my life," and then it would just go on to something else. Yeah.
This is the last thing.
It was hilarious how often that sentiment came up, not direct quotes, and so the guys in the EFAP chat were just memeing on it, and it's hilarious. It's funny as hell.
All right, Quelndar for 50. Have to watch the show on stream later today. Well, you can in your home theater. But wanted to drop this on you. Hail the fellowship. Hail Quelndar. See you in the Forbidden Frontier. Hoedown Beaver for €2. I agree with Ian, Odin, and Sex Pay Girl. There you go. Rick Cox for $9.99. Panel, with Acolyte character, which Acolyte character should cross over into Andor to put the nail in that coffin? Can't wait for a prequel series about the origins of Bacta tanks. Chad, is your food storage ready?
So I have only a smaller food storage, but I have plans to get a much larger, storage facility in the future. And hell yeah, I'm like I said, my goal in life is to be a prepper, just like Comics Division. You're my hero.
Chad, if you're able to, get a freeze dryer.
Yeah, I know. They're insane. My wife is already onto that. She wants to start freeze drying scrambled eggs because apparently you can hydrate them and they're amazing. So,
yes.
And for that question, Basil, obviously.
Basil. So I can't pronounce this last name. Maybe you can, X-Ray Girl. Razvan.
Mihanu
for 50 Rons. For 50 Rons. I don't know what it's RON. My lightsaber is bleeding. It's that time of the month. Animating Andy for €25. Everyone. The Acolyte is over. An axe hacking through the door. The Acolyte. Here's Acolyte season 2. Oh my God, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to rob your brain cells. Everyone. So you want to be made fun of again? The Acolyte. Shit. Yes. I'm not going to hurt you, Wendy. I'm just going to bash your fucking brains in. Shining. Come on. Alan Foley for $100 on the Streamlabs side. Hail FNT, longtime worker. Welcome. This is my first super chat. We will not be gentle. We're going to go in raw. Trump surviving has given me a glimmer of hope. The balkanization, okay, it took me a second there, of the U.S. will be the end of us down here in Oz. Shad would be welcome, should become a warlord, though. Love you all. He should.
He needs supplies to become a warlord, though.
I do have a lot of swords, and so I'm building my armor.
Yeah, all the swords and princess dresses and
Hey.
Twilight books.
Hanzo Griffin for $10 says, have any of you guys seen your boy Zach's post about people being critical of recent Star Wars? Any thoughts? I like Zach, but don't understand why he is going so hard. I like Zach. I'm still subscribed to Zach. I'll always be subscribed to Zach. He was an inspiration for this channel, Diversity in Comics. But the one thing, if you've been a subscriber for Zach for a long time, he's always had fucking horrible taste in TV shows and film. Like that is from day one. That is a fact. He has had the worst take. Really good takes with comics, and I think that's where it kind of tops out. But
he got massively roasted on his take for Gods of Egypt. Because it was like an awful movie. He really liked it, and people were just like going after him.
Well, here's the thing. Guess what? People can disagree about media, and they don't have to have falling out.
Exactly.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know.
You can actually look every week now.
You can even like the Acolyte, and I won't hate you. I'll just think you're mentally disabled. All right.
Yeah, I won't take your advice on anything, but I mean,
I look forward to the videos telling me what you really loved about the plot and how it was all amazing.
Yes,
exactly.
In detail.
Exactly. A 3-hour stream breaking down every element that you like. By the way, we do that every Sunday with House of the Dragon. I think our shortest one was 2 hours and 48 minutes. Talking about how much we love it. So, Luckfield for $10. First super chat. All right. DEI is the worst, but as an actual identical twin, the Acolyte absolute fails at portraying identical twins in as unique individuals. But I'm not X-ray girl.
I mean, masochist.
Masochist. Okay, that's what I got. So I watch House of the Dragon instead. I'm like, what? I'm going to fuck that word up. I've said it. I know what it means, but I can't recall seeing it spelled that much.
Miso Christ?
What is that? What's a Miso Christ?
Oh, no. You sound like you're talking like me.
Dick Shooter for $10. It's 13:16. I should be asleep. Why is Friday night tights live? Throbbing on the this is a song, right? Throbbing on that thing. You got me. You get me. Okay, you get me. Throbbing on that thing. You get me. Also, more videos on the Green app. Ligma balls, Ryan. Ligma balls, Ryan.
Classy.
No, the Green app is a live streaming platform, so that's what there will be. I'll put some up there once in a while. I'll put the evergreen stuff up there. Tim B for $14.99 Australian. Any thoughts on The Boys season 4? No.
Not watching it.
I dipped out. After I watched part of season 3, but I dipped out of season 2. I was done.
Yeah, I stopped watching after the girls do get it done line. I was like, oh, so you guys are unaware of how stupid that line is, actually.
Yeah, The Boys became a parody of itself. The comic is better. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe that, but they haven't read the comic. So Andre C28 for $19.99. If Disney let an AI make Star Wars shows, how bad would it be? Not as bad as what they. Yes. Snoopy Diz is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships
already be
for
seeing
$25. Yeah, this might already be it. I'm not going to blame the machines for man's failures. Okay, or woman's, or headlands.
Woman.
They them's failures. Josh Kelsey drops $19.99 and walks away because that's what he does. CJ the Goat for $25. I graduated high school with Abby and Brittany. I once asked what it was like meeting Oprah at the same time. They said she's such a bitch.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Jokes aside, very nice people, so sweet. Not the best drivers though.
That's
Epic
because they're women.
For 10 Canadian pesos. I know, yeah, it's got nothing to do with being two heads. You guys need to review Supercell from Netflix. It has some good points, but it's also heavy with the message. Yeah, you know what? It reminds me of Black. Remember that comic? Comics division, Black?
Yes, I do.
So Black is the X-Men, except all the black people have superpowers.
Yes. And just like what we talked about with another movie, yeah, they have these superpowers, and yet they don't use it to escape slavery.
Who wrote that again? It was...
that would be Fake Holiday.
I literally got 5 minutes into into the first episode, and I couldn't stand the way they spoke, and I'm like, this is stupid, and turned it off.
Yeah, Kwanzaa Yejafo, I think is his name.
Okay.
Fake Holiday.
It was
called Supercell.
Supercell. It's on Netflix.
With an A. Like sickle cell.
Yes.
Literally, is that the name of the show?
Is it supposed to be Supercell, and they say it like they're from
Super?
The
It's like
Supercell, yo.
Mm-hmm. That's.
I didn't get the newsletter on this.
Keep it real in the field, aight? Toe up from the flow up. Rocking chair for $10.
Somebody clip that, please.
I still can't get over the budget. I would like to see a spreadsheet of how funds were allocated for this poorly produced show. The sets were so weak in comparison to Ahsoka. They're repurposed. They were wandering around basically 2 planets. One was location, one was studio. Half-shaved bridge kitten for $20. Hashtag KMR10 Disney Star Wars Scorn Fiction. Get Woke Go Broke for $20 says, yeah, baby, I'm out of YouTube prison. All I want to say is, fuck Disney. Come get me, YouTube, you fucking pronoun cunts.
Immediately goes back
going right back in.
Straight away.
Love it.
What does that Sam Wallace
that guy, he sounds Australian, just saying.
Yeah.
Scottish.
Sam Wallace art for $10. Timeless is the story of Jekyll and Hyde. Good moral doctor splits off his vices into an alter ego so he can indulge without guilt, but alter ego steals his whole life and, when resisted, dooms them both. Good story. Gene Menezes for 10 Martian pesos. These people don't love Star Wars. What they love is the power they feel they have over the rest of us. They see our side as the enemy, so they rejoice in destroying everything we love. Yes, and we're not the enemy. We're fans. But they do like that power. But that power is anointed to them by Daddy Corporation. That's something they can't get over. You know,
I think
yeah, it's not earned.
I think they get off at it.
They do absolutely get off of it. But they also know at the back of their mind, all of this legitimacy, all of this relevancy, all of my perceived power comes from a name badge I have.
Yep. And it's gonna die so quickly
as soon as you leave.
They think they're on the top of the world. Their show's getting made, and their show is dog crap.
I will say it again. If you want to learn about business, Silicon Valley, you want to laugh your ass off, but learn a lot. Watch Silicon Valley seasons 1 through 3.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. You will learn a lot. It's just as relevant as it was today. I just rewatched it. I can't even remember how many times I've rewatched it. I got through season 3. It's fucking great. 21 Palisa has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. Vern M for 10 euros. Just drops it and leaves. Thank you. Harukami for 10 euros. Still wanting a film based on
the SWTOR.
SWTOR. Oh, okay.
No, you don't. You don't want that.
No, you don't want anything made now.
Not now. No.
SWTOR
cinematics. I would agree with you in any other age.
Just start a new era for an old one. Knight Radiant for $19.99. The Plagueis from the novel never would have selected Smilo as an apprentice. He disdained Fallen Jedi. That novel is the best exploration of the Sith philosophy that has been told, and it's wasted here on this crap. Yep. Lazy Titan for $20. If light speed travel in Star Wars is the same as speed of light in real life, then the planets on the outer rim from Coruscant would be the same distance from between Earth and Mars. about 22 minutes, about 40 minutes between Earth and Jupiter. The Nothing for $10. I wanted to see a series where Show Enough from The Last Dragon is the Sith Master. Daniel Herron
He
for
is the
$10. Just a reminder that the Acolyte cost as much as Dune 2. Yes. Michael for $19.99.
Oh my God.
Patriarchy.
That's awful.
Insane. Patriarchy. Witches mind rape. Coral had kids fight. Anasea attacks May. Moss cover-up. Venestra cover-up. May Osha kill for no reason. Guys, Torben wants to go home. Kelnaka's mind is taken over. Sol was defending. Sol was a weak man. Got on his knees. The symbolism there was not lost on, well, me. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. He basically committed suicide at the end. He could have stopped Osha if he wanted to. He just let her kill him.
Brass Monkey.
Also, if you get to say one thing, drop a gamer word. Like it's what your last words. So don't go. It's okay.
It's okay to
like,
kill
what
me.
You think of her.
Go out with a little dignity.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're a fucking Jedi Knight, dude.
That's a currency they don't have.
She's about to turn to the dark side. Like, there's no better time to start killing. Use the Force, get your lightsaber, and cut her. Don't stab her in the gut, though. She'll survive. Brass Monkey for $10. I bet the show is more exciting for the vision impaired audience. It is. It is. Samuel Austin.
Speaking for someone who is a part of the visually impaired audience, the answer is no.
You could still see some comics division, okay?
Still counts as visually impaired.
Hey, do you get good parking spots?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Doesn't count.
I don't know. I never actually applied for disability or anything like
Alex,
that.
what's your prescription?
You're just a blind man driving around dangerously?
I'm actually blind in one of my eyes.
He's blind in one eye.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Christ.
You wear it well.
Thanks.
Samuel Ospina for $19.99. Leslie clearly took from the Bane story arc where a Jedi is framed by Darth Zana. For people that hate the Lucas era stories, they clearly take from it. They can't even make up their own stories, sadly destroying the past. Yes, it's laziness. Leslie Headland was a poser. She didn't know fucking shit. She begged for the job. She couldn't answer what her favorite Star Wars was. Just say fucking Empire Strikes Back like everybody.
Yeah,
okay?
it's the correct answer.
Because it's the best answer and it's the only answer. But
Yes.
Jesus, she couldn't even answer the fucking question. She begged Kathleen Kennedy. She got a job for it. And this is what happens a lot, especially with the DEI hires and the casting of producers. You're not going to say no to a bunch of you'll get so few opportunities, and they cheated their way in. And honestly, it's not their fault. It's the corporations. They said yes. They were in way over their head. They are given every resource available, and they still don't do basic fucking shit. Theory talked about it yesterday on Open Bar. You know, hey, we can't expect an actor to know everything about Star Wars. I expect an actor taking a Star Wars job to know that Luke blew up the fucking Death Star and not Anakin. Yes, that is the most basic bitch research. I know, like, when I take on work, when I do stuff, I do all the research I can to prepare for it. I'm not always great at it, but I do what I can to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And
you should absolutely know the world of Star Wars. Maybe not the granular, super detailed oriented stuff, but if you're an actor coming into a franchise like Star Wars, you should know at least the movies, at the very least.
Dude,
at least
if you're working for Disney,
watch
everything live action. You should know everything. All the series, watch everything. You know, you've watched it, so you'll have a knowledge of it.
That's a weekend. That's a weekend.
It's a weekend.
And if you're not going to do it, at least have like the intelligence to know how to fake it. Like you had the yes witch woman when she was asked compare what do you think that these witches are like to these other witches from Ahsoka, and she went, I don't think you should really compare those two together. I think they're their own distinct group of witches in Star Wars. Like, at least learn how to lie properly and cover your own ignorance if you're gonna be lazy.
Shindu Versus for $9.99. Hail to the power of many. You guys are great. Theory, I think the first video I seen of yours was years back. Something about Palpatine's blinged out saber hilt. Tell the guys about it. Hail FNT. I'll go watch it. Norm Al Man with two N's. Norm Al Man for 20 Canadian pesos. Will we get an explanation as to where TJ Miller is in the if he's in the movie, he's probably not. Or will he be a
think so.
memory hold? He's going to be memory hold. He got.
He got
I was just
canceled.
watching a show he was in that he absolutely carried. TJ
Yeah.
Miller's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's hilarious and a nice guy.
Yeah,
Except when it's drunk on a train, apparently.
well, there's two people who were canceled from Deadpool. Gina Carano's not in it either, and she should be. She absolutely should be. All right, we are going to bounce over to the Green app, YouTube, for the bonus hour. So please join us over there. Thanks to absolutely everyone who helped out with the show. Thanks to Star Wars Theory. Thanks to Mauler. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a Super Chat donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to the sponsor for allowing us to read, for me to read their ad horribly. That will not improve anytime soon. So we'll see you over. We're going to talk about Rachel Madcow, talk about Lord of the Rings and some Hollywood hack stuff over on the Green app.
Can't stand that lady.
See you next week with
1 second. I didn't prepare this. Razor Fist.
Razor Fist. Yeah, that's gonna be good stuff. We'll be in San Diego. Gary and I will be in San Diego, but the show will go on. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Watch Cinderella. Watch Cinderella live action. You will.
Shut up.
Chad, everybody on, just so you know.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.